Okay, and we should be good. Can anyone hear me? Are we good to go? A little bit of an audio problem, so give it a second. If you guys can hear me, we can get this going. Just streaming some Bobobo for the PlayStation 2. Okay, so now I'm good. Let me know if my audio levels are a-okay. If I'm not coming in, through, I don't know, if maybe my voice is too loud or the video game audio is too loud or something, you let me know. So what this is, so Bobobo had a number of video games, and this is the PlayStation 2 import. So it's like a rhythm game, and if you've ever played Guitaru Man for the PlayStation 2, it's a little bit like that. So you use the left and the right stick to control Bobobo's nose hairs, and you just hit enemies to the music. It's pretty simple. Kenny, why are you attracted to Rich Evans? Rich Evans said he was gonna send my VCR out to be fixed, and he didn't do it. You have beautiful eyes. Let's see. Hi from Nathaniel. Thank you for your channel. I hope to get anime on DVDs. Well, thank you very much, Nathaniel. I hope I'm giving you guys a little bit of stuff to watch that you never heard of before. Let's see. I'm taking you to Flavortown. Says hello. Not gonna stick around because a friend is streaming. Good luck. Well, thank you very much, man. It's good to see you here. Connor Gainey says Fist of the Nose Hair. Yeah, it's like a Fist of the North Star parody with a lot of Dragon Ball Z references in it. Bo7 is on Guitar Freaks 4, I believe. That's pretty awesome. Let's see. Megafat1 says, but how accurate are the controls for the nose hairs? They are as manly and accurate as humanly possible. Love this anime. This had a game. This had multiple video games in Japan. This specific one, I don't think ever came out in America. If it did come out, I never heard of it. Let's see. Yo, what up, Kenny? Kenny from Jacob Leitner. Hey, how's it going? Lucas Martinez says, Kenny, would you ever write a book about anime with all your knowledge? Well, why would I spend my time writing a book when I could be putting that energy towards the anime videos instead, William Harris says, always good to see you stream, Kenny. Didn't even know this had a game. Multiple games. There's Game Boy Advance games, GameCube games. All sorts of good stuff. Alright, so let's get our Bobobo on. So, like I said, you've got the left stick is your left nose hair, right stick is your right nose hair. And the key to playing the video game is really you just kind of want to preemptively get that nose hair out there before the enemies hit you. It's not so much about timing as prediction and reaction. So, okay, so basically what happens is the better you do, there'll be how do I put this? Hidden items in the level, and when you break one open, like this box, for example, you'll randomly get a character that'll join your little dance. And the better you do, the more combos you get going, the better Bobobo starts dancing. And if you get really, really good at the game, you'll have rainbow disco colored, rainbows will start popping up and stuff. It's pretty cool. And there's no language barrier in the game whatsoever. So it's, it's one of those games when I think of Japanese imports on PlayStation 2, I think about the stuff that's really easy to play, arcade shooters, rhythm games, fighting games. Those tend to be the ones that are really accessible, which I enjoy. I've been told that there's people who buy stuff like Final Fantasy in Japanese, all those Dragon Quest games and stuff like that on PlayStation 2 in Japanese just because they're cheaper. But unless you know Japanese, obviously it's probably not going to be the route that you want to go. However, with Bobobo, it's really, really easy to play. So I recommend getting one of these, getting a copy of this if you can play it. Okay. Occasionally, what'll happen, and it's not in this level, you'll have enemies that take more than one hit to take down, and there are power-ups that you can get in this game. You see that window in the middle of the screen, right at the top? Well, that will actually show you what power-up you have when you unlock them, and the better you do, the better power-ups you will unlock. Right there, that was my super attack. That's the armpit hair there. The better you do at a level, the better equipable item that you'll unlock, and some of them are nose hairs that will allow you to do more damage, And sometimes, you know, there's equipable items that'll make your hair last longer and stuff like that. So yeah, you're not gonna see that window in the middle during the first level, but later on you're gonna see. It's pretty cool. I saw there was a donation. This is one of those rhythm games where unfortunately I can't look at the chat at the exact same time as the donation comes up, but I will look it up right after I finish this level. It'll be another 30 seconds or so. But yeah, Bobobo is great. You know, it's when it aired in America, they didn't even bother really translating it. They did kind of like a Ghost Stories thing where they were. I love how Don Patch has the same voice actor as Usopp from One Piece. When they brought it to America, they did like a Ghost Stories type thing, since like none of the jokes translate to English properly. So they just basically made everything up, and it's like a legendary English dub. So. With this right here, what I want to do is there'll be 2 arrows, right? And what you want to do is hold the sticks in the direction of the arrows. So both are left. And after that, what you want to do is, this is like the defense part, where you have to enter in the arrows, but you don't have to hold them. You just press the stick as they come up. And the object of the boss battles here is you want to fill up your opponent's gauge by basically holding the sticks every one of these times. So like if I get Don Patch's health bar all the way up, I guess it's like his nose hair bar or something like that, it'll automatically win me the match. And some of them are really hard, because like the later boss battles have a lot of diagonals to them, and for some reason like my PS2 joystick just, you know, the sticks that I have just do not want to recognize the diagonals for some reason sometimes. Okay, let me go ahead and catch up with the donations. Give me a second here. So, let's see what I got. Okay, let's see. 1 minute ago, 2 minutes ago. Okay, so Rocket Insano donated $2 through Super Chat, says, X-Arm may have lost its anime status Nora style. Why, is there a new X-Arm anime that's basically a slideshow? I never heard of that. The Mad Cave donated €2 through Super Chat, says, Bobobo / Bob Loblaw crossover thoughts. We need a Bob Ross crossover with Bobobo. I'm surprised they never went for that joke, because that's like one of the only characters that Japan knows of from like American media who has like an afro. Let's see here. Odanis678 donated $2 through Super Chat. No message on that one. Adub64 donated $5 through Super Chat. Says, so Kenny, have you seen Kaiketsu Zurori? Kaiketsu Zurori. Are you talking about, is that the Zoro anime? Is that what you're talking about? Yes, I've seen the Zoro anime. It's pretty awesome. Ross Wolf donated $5 through Super Chat, says, I found some Deke Sailor Moon VHS tapes locally. We'll be picking them up tomorrow. You might have missed them. If you're talking about like them just sitting on a store shelf at like a Salvation Army or a Goodwill, you really need to pick up that stuff like immediately. Because when I was still trying to find VHS tapes at like resale stores, and I still do occasionally, the whole virus thing kind of screwed up going to resale stores. But I used to always, like, if I ever saw something I was even vaguely interested in, it's like the VHS tapes are like $1, right? I would always just like immediately pick that up, because there's people who will go to those stores and just like resell things like you would not believe. And those Sailor Moon tapes are they are going up in value. It's not like you can't just like watch Sailor Moon on DVD, but there's people who do want them. So like this is one of the equipable items I was talking about earlier. I don't know exactly what power-up this gives me, but I'm just gonna go ahead and equip it, because there are no downsides to any of that. Odanis678 says, so what did you think of One Stormy Night? Have not seen that. Okay, so when is the Laserion or Gingeyser video? Discotech is going to be putting out a Laserion DVD box set pretty soon, so I'm going to be able to watch that with proper translations, so maybe sometime in the video, but you don't want me talking about Gingeyser. You know, if I do Gingeyser, that'll be like the last video that I ever do. It's just like too hard to watch. Odanis says, what did you think of One Stormy Night? Alright, okay, caught up with all of the donations.
なかなかやるな。俺の名前はケチャップ。次は買わせるかな。そうこうなったら必殺技だ。
Okay, we got $1 from, let's see, who was it exactly? From Minute Bracelets, donated $1. Message redacted. I don't know why that happens. Sometimes YouTube, they'll just block a word. If you're still in the chat, just send me another message and I'll answer it. Who else we got here? $20. Wow, that's a big donation from Ben Martin. Ben Martin says, "My boy, how are you? What is the most how do you do fellow kids moments you've ever had when talking to Zoomer anime fans? P.S. I love you." Let me think. I've talked to people that say anime doesn't need to be well animated, and like that at that point I had this conversation where somebody asked me how do I support the anime industry. I'm like, you're not gonna like the answer, but you're gonna want to buy like these $200 Blu-ray discs, because that's really where they make most of their money. And they're like, oh, well, you know, I'll just subscribe to like Crunchyroll or whatever. But from what I gather, I think they get like pennies on the dollar for the streaming like licenses that they do. So I guess like technically, maybe like if Toei or, you know, Madhouse or what have you has like a website where you can buy merchandise, maybe that's a good way to support stuff. But my main point, you were asking me what is the how do you do fellow kids moment. You know, someone got really insulted where I was like, well, you know, if you want to support the anime industry, physically buy anime on DVD and stuff. And they're like, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm like, well, you know, you asked me. That's probably how they'll get the most money out of it. But it's a weird situation where I don't think they even like publish numbers for DVDs anymore. I did that one video where I was talking about the worst selling anime ever, which was at the time The Laughing Salesman. But shortly after that, they stopped publishing like DVD sales numbers for like box sets and Blu-rays in Japan from a bunch of companies. So really, who knows like how much DVDs and Blu-rays are even selling anymore. So it's kind of hard to say, you know. They're sending like mixed messages. They're like, well, you know, we want you guys to support anime, and then they won't give you a straight answer about like how they want you to do that. So, like that was a conversation that I had recently. You know, I guess some people get insulted when they're, you know, when you're saying like, hey, you want to support anime, you know, buy anime, and they're like, I'm not gonna do that. It's like, well, what? Like, how else are you supposed to support the thing? Here's the thing, I'm like so disconnected from like the modern anime industry that like any of my opinions on the subject are just completely pointless. I watch anime on VHS. I'm not the target market that the kids these days are being marketed towards. You know what I mean? You know, that's like the same reason why you know, people asking me, they're like, have you seen all these new Netflix originals and stuff like that? And I saw what was it, the Devilman you know, re-release that they did, and what was that, Devilman Crybaby, I think. And that's pretty much it, because they're just not making the stuff that I'm all that interested in. Okay, I will get to your message in a second. Here's the thing about this game. There is no pause button, I just realized, on this game, and that doesn't make the game bad, but it's probably not a game I should have chose to stream now that I think about it. But here, I'll try and keep you guys interested. I have a lot of respect for those people that they can look at the stream and play a rhythm game at the same time. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. How about this for a subject? Have you guys seen the video that I did on Silverfang? Did anyone actually watch Ginga Nagareboshi Gin after I did that video? I think that's such an underrated series, because that's one of those anime where you look at it and like the creator of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure has this one interview in one of the reprinted volumes of the manga, where he's talking about like Iggy, you know, the dog in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3, and he's saying, well, you know, before Iggy, I never drew any animal fights in my manga. So he said he used Silverfang like directly as inspiration for how to draw Iggy from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So, you know, like when you start hearing things like that, you're like, well, why does nobody know about this series about dogs fighting bears in the Japanese mountainside if it's so influential to all these people that, people still like. People like Araki, they like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So, it's like when I can bring context to, modern anime fans and just people in general, that's, I would say, what I'm trying to do, just kind of give things a little bit more exposure, you know what I mean? I didn't really care for the sequel, and people are gonna hate me for saying that. But like they made a sequel anime. Don't get me wrong, the manga for Genga Nagare Boshigin's sequel, which is it's called Weed or Weedo, is very good. It's good, but that's the manga. The anime was done like on such a shoestring budget, like the characters don't even look like dogs. It's hilarious. I could show you some screenshots that would just make you like die laughing, because like every character looks like they're plastic bobbleheads, and it just kills me seeing how cheap it is. And what's funny is I didn't get it into the video, but I found out there was a Ginga Densetsu Weed pachinko machine that they made in conjunction with that anime at the time. So maybe that's another one of those series that got the pachinko bug and ended up getting screwed up because they wanted to put a bunch of shorts on pachinko machines. It's weird to think about that sort of stuff, but it is kind of like pervasive in the anime industry ever since, like, I want to say the early 2000s or so. And another thing I don't really like about Genga Nagare Boshigin's sequel is like the main character, he's just like given everything. And somebody I was talking to said that that's like the Boruto syndrome. But like the main character of the show, he just has all the attacks of his dad for like no reason. And one of the coolest things about that original show is like you see this dog training, like learning all these super moves and techniques. And at the beginning of the sequel, he just has them. His son just has them for some reason. So, I didn't care for that. It doesn't ruin the series or anything. But, like, the main character is also, like, way too kind. He wants to be friends with anyone. And I'm like, I wanted an anime about dogs fighting bears. And it's, like, half of it is about, like, friendship and stuff. I'm just like, I can't be doing with that. That's what I have to say about that. Dojin Dude says, as someone who discovered you through Sukeban videos, yes, I will be doing more in the future. Probably the next video is going to be another J-drama that I've been watching through. And, you gotta give me a little time. That's the problem. A lot of these shows are, basically all of them, are completely unsubtitled. So if you liked my video on Hana no Asukagumi and Sukeban Deka and Shoujo Commando Izumi, then you're in for a treat. This next show is... It's pretty insane. They're all kind of crazy. Like, Japanese J-dramas in the 80s were just one of the weirdest times in Japan's TV history. And they talk about like how TV in Japan is just like really boring these days. And I don't know what happened after the 80s. Maybe it was just the money dried up or something. But like some of the shows, like just regular TV shows in Japan at that time, were just ridiculous. There was this one show that like I just found out about this week ago. They have like a show about the main character is a woman delinquent golf player, and I think it was like called Battle Golfer or something or other. I'll probably mention it in one of the other videos that I'm gonna do, but there are just it's just so much info. The main problem is there's just like no documentation on a lot of this stuff. I have to go through like Japanese GeoCities web pages and like Usenet posts in Japanese and stuff just to find information on them, which is really a shame because like stuff like Shoujo Commando Izumi is just like so amazing. You look at it and you're like, why does nobody know about this? Okay, I really do not want to have to do this boss battle again. Okay, come on. Okay, I gotta focus on this. All right, I have to get this. All right. Okay, focus. Which arrows? Okay, that's one. I need to hit him 2 more times. Please don't give me any diagonals. Oh, those are both diagonals. Okay, one more. One more time. Come on. Yes. Okay, there we go. Boss battle beaten. So Dojin Dude, as someone who discovered you through the Sukeban videos, think about how ludicrous it is that there's barely any beat-em-up games. Yeah, there is a Sukeban Deka beat-em-up for the Sega Master System Mark II, which is like really obscure video game system. And There's also a Skeban Deka 3 game for the Japanese Famicom, but people consider that Kusoge, which is a very bad video game. So it's like a legendarily bad video game. There's an English translation for it too. I've never bothered with it. It's supposed to be really, really bad. Maybe I'll do a review on it one of these days. But yeah, you would think. Like even you look at PS2 games as an example. PS2 has a ton of Ultraman games. It's got a ton of Ultraman games. It has like the Metal Heroes stuff as far as tokusatsu goes, like Charavan and like Shider, all those Metal Heroes, all that good stuff where, you know, it looks like Big Bad Beetleborgs. You might be familiar with that, I guess. But you don't see any like video games based on the Skeban like subgenre, and I think that's because it's like no one company owns them. Skeban Deka is owned, like the manga is owned by one company, and then I guess Shoujo Commando Izumi is owned by somebody else. Hana no Asukagumi is obviously its own manga, so you would have to have like a Super Robot Wars type situation, and it just doesn't happen. But yeah, thank you very much for the donation and the very good question. Let me go ahead and catch up with the other stuff. Rocket Insano says, thank you so much for reviewing Ginga Nagareboshi Gin. I asked you about it in a live stream before you made the review, and then to see you release it was amazing. I have loved the show for years and love all the manga series. Thank you very much. Okay, well, as you know, you gave me the donation, so I'll give you a little bit of trivia. If you have played Monster Hunter, in the video game Monster Hunter, there is a bear enemy, right? And there is a variant of the bear monster boss in Monster Hunter called, I have to look this up. It's called the red-backed something or other. I'm blanking on the exact name. Let me look up the exact thing. I posted it on my Twitter, so I should be able to look this up real quick. Let's see here. It's called the Red Helm Arzuros. So if you've played Monster Hunter, the Red Helm Arzuros from that series is a direct reference to Silverfang. So I hope that's worth the donation. But like you see Ginga Nagareboshi Gin just show up in all sorts of stuff. And like people don't realize just how how influential that series was on a bunch of different mangaka. So, yeah, thank you very much. If you guys haven't seen Silverfang, I stand by that video. Fantastic anime. Not so much the sequel. Read the sequel. Don't watch the anime. But that first series is just, like, fantastic. It is, how you say, timeless. Okay, let's see. Cesario JPN says, J-dramas. So will this open up your videos on police procedurals like, let's see, Tokuso Saizensen, Aibo, Hajire Kenji, let's see, Investigation Mariko, Dr. X, etc. I was thinking about doing a video on like Robot Detective K, if you're talking about Kenji, but like if it's not like tokusatsu adjacent, I mean, like that's the problem. Like you can talk about anime, and you can talk about, like, delinquent schoolgirl shows, but when you start talking about, like, legitimate Japanese television dramas, I think I would lose a bunch of people. I don't know, do you guys, in the chat, do you guys want me to do, like, an actual television soap opera Japanese drama review one of these days? Because I'll do it. I love that stuff. I don't think anybody will watch it. But, yeah, I love me some Japanese school dramas, and just Japanese dramas in general. They're great. Good stuff. Yeah, the problem with it is just like there's not only is none of it subtitled, but none of it is just documented in like any way. Like and even if stuff is like if I'm trying to find trivia or like production information, and I do find it, it ends up being like in some magazine that I'll have to get like off of Yahoo Japan, and it's not easy a lot of the time. Like you wonder why these videos take me like sometimes a month or two to finish. And it's just because, like, there's no way for... Like, I don't want to put out a soulless video, you know what I mean? If I'm going to do, like, as an example, and I'm not promising you I'm going to do this, like a bonus video on The Laughing Salesman, I got to have, like, 10 minutes worth of interesting info about that character, you know what I mean? So, yeah, a lot of these J-dramas, like, it's enough to... It's I don't know, maybe some people might think it's enough just to talk about the show. But like I like to really hammer it in because you know, when you're the only one talking about something like Hana no Asukagumi, you better cover all your bases. And that's a shame, too, because I don't like discouraging other channels from doing more videos on some of the stuff that I talk about, but I don't think anybody's talked about any of the things that I've covered. There actually have been. I'll take that back. A couple of channels, I think there's like a few people who have covered The Curse of Minky Momo, and maybe the whole Golden Bat thing was maybe covered by somebody else afterwards. But, like, for some reason in general, like, I was hoping, like, people would start talking about the underwater Nausicaa anime. I love that there's a borderline bootleg version of Nausicaa that they just set underwater that they'll probably never re-release, you know? I love hearing about that stuff. But you never see anyone doing another follow-up video, which is a shame. So just like in general, because I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that's going to cover that stuff, I like to cover all my bases and get as much information as I possibly can. You know, do it once, do it right. Okay, I know I'm getting donations. I cannot pause the game. It's a rhythm game. So I'll get to it right after the boss battle. Here's a subject for you. Did you guys look up any of the examples of 25 things that might be anime that I did recently? I think I got a good variety of weird stuff in that video. You know, I covered, like, Japanese, like, global... How do you put this? Japanese global, like, co-productions. I covered stuff that's barely animated. I covered things that's stop motion, which I still say stop motion is anime. I don't care what Wikipedia says that anime has to be a drawing. I say clay and stop motion is probably anime. There's really no reason to say that it isn't. I think the main problem is, like, when you start saying that, like, things that aren't even drawings can be anime, you end up having people saying, well, like, you know, anime is just Japanese cartoons, and if it just has to be, like, 50% CG, then all of a sudden you're like, well, you know, the Avengers movie is 50% CG. Is that a cartoon suddenly at that point? And, like, people just don't want to... You don't want to confuse people. We say that, like, cartoons and anime generally have to be a drawing just for, like, the sake of clarity, you know what I mean? Because, like, otherwise things get really, really confusing. So, you know, it's probably, like, on a slider where it's like, you know, anime probably has to be a drawing, probably has to be animated, probably has to be Japanese, you know what I mean? So, but, you know, that was a fun video. When I learned about the Flying Luna Clipper, like an entire anime done that looks like a Sega Genesis game on an old Japanese computer, like, that's the stuff that really, really interests me. I tried to find out if they, like, what that, like, goes for, and apparently that's, like, if somebody hadn't put it onto YouTube, that would be lost media right now. Apparently there's a lot of MSX collectors out there that really, really go crazy over collecting MSX, like, memorabilia and stuff. So, yeah, that was amazing that I even found out that was a thing. Okay, focus. I pressed the sticks in the right direction. My controller did not recognize the inputs. For some reason, my PS2 controller really does not like me putting things in like diagonals for some reason. So, I don't want to say my controller's busted or anything like that, but for some reason, it really does not like when I do that. Okay, come on. Nope, that didn't work either. Oh, God. Okay, focus. I really don't want to have to redo the level, because if you lose one of these boss battles, you have to start it all over from the beginning. And the music's pretty good. I don't mind replaying a level, but I don't like the idea that I'm not making progress. Here's the thing, this was made by Hudson, and Hudson was just like, they made a lot of really, really difficult video games back in the day. Like, they did not mess around. I think Konami owns them now that I think about it. And what have they done? I guess they put Bomberman on some cell phone games, and they put Bomberman to Smash Brothers, but, like, outside of that, they haven't really done anything with the Hudson properties. Okay, come on. Okay, please. There we go. Okay, one. Come on. Ah, you kidding me? I'm surprised that my character's still alive. I thought you get a game over when you get 100% on your bar for some reason. Okay, come on. Maybe there's like maybe that bar does something that I'm not aware of. Okay, come on. Come on, come on. Yes, okay. Good, good, good. Focus, focus, focus. Alright. Ah, 2 diagonals. I pressed it, it just didn't work. Okay. Right, right. Left, left. Right, right. Diagonal. Up, left. Ah. Okay, up, left. Okay, come on. Work. I only need to hit him like 3 more times, and then I get the boss battle done. Okay. That's another one. Alright. 2. Okay, come on. Got a Bobobo. Okay, I think one more should do it. Come on. Ah, I was so close. Those diagonals, they get me. Left, left. Right, right. Left, left. Right, right. Gotta believe in the fist of the nose hair. Gotta use all my afro power in order to do this boss battle. Alright, come on. A little bit more. Okay, just one more attack. Yes, got it. Okay, now I'm gonna read the chat. J-drama. Okay, so Cesario JPN says J-dramas. So will this open up? Yeah, I already read that question. I will do as many J-dramas as I can. Like I said, I don't think anybody would most of the people subscribe for the anime stuff, but you know, it depends on if you guys want it or not. Let's see. Kenny, what are your favorite animes from before the 1990s other than famous shows like Makuros, Dirty Pair, etc. that you already did videos on? I've said it before, but I really like Galaxy Express 39. Just, you know, a lot of 70s mecha, you know, Zambot 3, stuff like that. I generally don't have any favorites. You know, like I've said this before, but like in general, I think anime is pretty good, so I'll watch pretty much anything. And unless it's something on the level of like Girl Detective Club where you feel like you completely wasted your time, I'll generally enjoy it. Let's see. Okay, so Adub64 donated $5. Kenny Lauderdale, it's the anime about the anthropomorphic fox where he pulls pranks and helps people, and his goal is to get a cute bride and a bitchin' castle. I've never heard of that. Sorry, I'll have to look into that after the stream. Thank you very much for the donation. Ruth L donated $10. Says thank you for mentioning Eisenborg. I love that show as a kid, and I hope you review it. Eisenborg is insane because it's mixed media, so a lot of the time it's not even anime. But like the enemies in Eisenborg are just like horrendously like scary if you were watching that sort of thing as a kid. They have this one dinosaur that they fight in Eisenborg that like literally melts people with like, I think it was either a gas or like a goo or something. So they have people dying in that show. Like I couldn't even imagine watching that. It probably would have made me have nightmares as a kid if they had that in America. We got like a couple of episodes of it on VHS in the United States, but like nothing on the level of the whole series. For some reason that just didn't get released anywhere, but okay, so there we go, stronger nose hair. Good. Let me see here. Are you Ross from Ross's Game Dungeons Lost Brother? Somebody contact Ross. That's like the 30th time somebody's told me that I sound like him. It must be something that they put in the water. Okay, all us 30-year-old boomers, we all just sound the same. So thank you very much, Rocket Insano, for the donation. Let's see. Cesario JPN says school-based J-dramas like Kenpachi Sensei. More or less. I mean, there's a lot of delinquent-based like J-dramas that I'd like to. I don't want to name drop any of them because somebody might do videos on them. But I've got ideas. Varkas Varna says, hey Kenny, been subscribed to you since you had like 3 uploads and we're shilling your channel on V. Glad you're finally getting views. Well, you know, it's hard. I was doing videos to like no audience for like, I don't know, 3 years or so. I didn't expect anybody to be interested in any of the stuff that I was talking about. And then all of a sudden, like, you know, I got over 100,000 subs. Like, I don't get it. Like, I enjoy talking about what I do, but I figured somebody would have been talking about old anime before me, and I guess there just aren't that many people doing it. Nintendo Wii donated $5, says, speaking of things that may or may not be anime, would you do a video on GD fairies? No, that's probably where I draw the line. Like, here's the thing, I would say, like, and I've said it before, and I hate to sound like a broken record, but it's got to be animated somewhat. It's got to be, most of it has to be like a Japanese production, like the director has to be Japanese, the writers have to be Japanese. That's why I think Alfred J. Quack is an anime, because the director and the writer and the animators were Japanese. The original creator was not Japanese, but everything else about that just screams anime to me. Oban Star Racers, also, I could consider that anime, because everything else about it is Japanese, you know, animators, directors, writers, but the creator was not. From what I remember, the guy who made Oban Star Racers actually, like, went to a Japanese studio in Japan when they were making that show and slept there just so he could give, like, tips to the people who were making it. So, you know, that's dedication at that point. Let's see here. Winter Squash donated $1 through Super Chat. No message. Thank you very much, Winter Squash. Skeet Neat donated $20 through Super Chat. Wow. You said that Golden Bat is the first superhero. Well, technically it's the Egyptian gods, since ancient Egyptians used to make comics by carving them in reverse manga way before you read from the bottom to the top. I never said that Golden Bat is the first superhero. If you look at that video, the name of the video is Japan's first superhero. I thought about naming that video the first superhero. However, there's this character from the, like, England Penny Dreadful comics from, like, the late 1800s called, go ahead and look this up, called Spring-Heeled Jack, that started as, like, a thief, and then later on in the late 1800s they made him into, like, a superhero, and he has a sidekick, he has a secret lair, he has gadgets like Batman, he has a sense of justice when they reinvented him, and technically I would say that is the first superhero. However, if you really want to get, like, super technical, like, I guess they're, like, I don't know, Gilgamesh and the Mesopotamian gods, you could, like, technically say those are superheroes. But no, I never said Golden Bat is the first superhero. However, the Egyptian hieroglyphs as the first manga is pretty funny. ADub64 donated $2 through Super Chat, says, it's the Kaiketsu Zoroi anime. I will have to look into that later. Thank you very much for the recommendation to look into that. The Mentok, the Mind Taker, lore master of all things Sonic the Hedgehog, donated $5 through Super Chat, says, good to see you back at the streaming. Here's the thing, I don't want to be streaming too often, because, like, you guys don't want your cell phone to be blowing up with notifications every other day saying that I'm streaming. You want me to do the videos. You want to hear about anime that you can watch, or maybe not watch in the case of Lost Media. So I'm trying to go easy on it, but I figure it's been a couple of months since I did a stream. I may as well. Thank you very much for the $5, the Mentalk. If you guys have not seen the Mentalk's channel, he does retrospectives on Sonic the Hedgehog, and he does variety videos on other interesting stuff. I recommend that channel, the Mentalk, if you have not subscribed to him. He does good Sonic the Hedgehog stuff, and some other stuff is a little bit, you know, sketchy, but he does so much content, you know. It's just great. Cute Armpits donated $1, says, I honestly forgot Bobobo even existed until I saw this stream. A lot of people seem to have forgotten about Bobobo. I don't know why. That was always one of my favorite shows, even when that aired on Cartoon Network, so, you know, we need to bring it back. Got to show some love for that series. Rocket Insano donated $2 through Super Chat. Would you ever do a video on Birdie the Muddy? That's one of those shows where I feel like most anime fans, or at least in the 90s, have heard about Birdie the Mighty. I tend to skew more towards, like, Lost Media type stuff, but yeah, maybe at some point. It's not like Ginga Nagare Boshigin was Lost Media, and I still did a video about that, so it depends on what sort of, like, trivia I can find. You know, I don't want to just do a regular review on Birdie the Mighty. I want to go all out if I do. Okay, so let me see what's going on in the chat. Man, that was a lot of donations. Let's see, what else we got going here? Another donation. Let me see who it was. Hey Kenny, let's see. That's Repliqueen Kyo donated $5 through Super Chat. Says, hey Kenny, I remember finding you from the eldritch horror that was Chargeman Ken like the day it was released and stuck around since. Keep it up. There are very few anime on that level. There's Chargeman Ken, which is just like aggressively wasting your time watching it. Twinkle Nora Rock Me is a lot less offensive. I mean, clearly it looks like you drew an anime on an Etch-a-Sketch, but I would say Chargeman Ken is simultaneously worse and better. But yeah, there's very few anime on that level. I mean, like when you're not coloring in the characters half the time, and like the sounds of characters' lip flap movements don't match with what they're saying. Like at that point, you know, that's probably a bad anime. Like here's the thing, there's some people that I've heard online through the grapevine that say like you shouldn't make fun of any anime. But like clearly there's stuff like Chargeman Ken where like it's so universally agreed that it's bad that like at that point I would say that you can do it. Like, you know, even Japan recognizes that show is just absolute insanity. I love how they completely embraced it. Like, that came out on DVD to, like, no announcement, right? And one day, like, they put it on their Japanese version of YouTube, which I think is what is called Nico Nico Doga, and they put that on their, Japanese streaming sites. And, like, the second that hit their internet, they're like, we need to do absolutely everything we can possibly do with this. Because, like, it's just like self-evidently bad. There's characters that aren't the right color, like Chargeman Ken's eyes, his eye color, his eyeballs will change from scene to scene. Sometimes people have 4 fingers, sometimes they have 5. It's just insane. Like, it plays tricks on your mind to watch that anime. It's just like, it's the weirdest thing that I've probably ever seen. If I ever do another video like, you know, like the worst shonen anime, or like the worst romance anime, or like the worst mecha anime, or something like that, you better believe it'll be on the level of Chargeman Ken. Like, I don't like to make fun of stuff. Like, even Girl Detective Club is like pretty inoffensive, really. It's just incredibly boring, which is really the worst anime are the ones that you can't even talk about. But like, unless it's on the level of making you question your sanity, then yeah, I kind of agree. You probably shouldn't be making fun of an anime. I had that problem with The Legend of Haley, where it's like the anime, it's not like the worst thing in the world. It's weird, but I wanted to talk about it like because the company that made it forgot that they made it. My current theory on that OVA is like Osamu Tezuka Productions probably doesn't own the rights to that anime. They probably had some kind of tangential connection to it. Maybe like Tezuka gave them like cliff notes on what the plot for the anime should be or something. But probably outside of that, maybe they can't prove that they own it because it was on their website and then they removed it. So either they found out that they don't actually own the anime that they put on their websites, or they're embarrassed about it, because like there's no other reason for them to remove that. They even have all of like Osamu Tezuka's like 2-minute shorts on that website. Like when you're going to that length to make a history timeline of every single thing that guy has ever done, and like for some reason you like exclude this one thing, like that tells me that there's something weird going on. I still don't know the exact reason for what's going on with that. Thank God for like the Wayback Machine or the Internet Archive, you know, proving that was on their website at some point. Otherwise, I wouldn't have even known that had anything to do with Osamu Tezuka. Bobobo. Okay. I'm doing good. See how Bobobo is dancing? That's how you know you're doing well. That's how did they say it in Parappa the Rapper? You rapping good? Like I need like some English messages coming up on screen telling me how well I'm doing. Okay. Yeah. Like this is a game that would only come out in Japan. And it's just fun. You know a video game is good when you enjoy playing it. Like immediately, like when you play Katamari Damacy, like you're like, oh, this is fun. I know how to play this and it's simple. I get that same feeling from this. You just pick it up, you play it, There's no real explanation. It's very arcadey. Let's see here. What else we got for the donations? What else? Rocket Insano says, would I ever do a video on Birdie the Mighty? Read that one. That Repla Queen Kyo says, hey, can I remember finding you from that? Okay, read that one. JTrev492 donated $1. Says, hey, Kenny, I was wondering what capture card you use for streaming and recording retro games while playing on a CRT. I'm using like a rebranded Elgato game card, so I think it's just called like a USB HD cap. It's not like a great card, but it does work. So, you know, look up a USB HD 3 cap. That's what I use. So my setup is I have my PlayStation 2 plugged into my my broadcast monitor. I've got a Sony BVM from back in the day, and that goes from my CRT to my capture card, and that's how I play without any input lag at all. I know that's kind of backwards. There's a lot of people who what they do is they use like what do they call those what do they use, an Extron or something like that in order to stream? But this works for me, and I've got zero lag, which is very important for like rhythm games. So yeah, that's what I use. I use an USB HD 3 cap. Thank you very much for the question. Okay, focus. All right. Come on. Up, down, up, left. Ah. Okay, gotta focus. I really wish there was a pause option in this video game. What is this, Dark Souls? Why does this not have a pause? Okay, got one. Okay. 2. Okay, come on, let's see if I can do 3. Alright, got 3. Alright, come on. Alright. Alright, couple more. Yes! Okay, I think 1 or 2 more attacks should be it. There we go. Got him. Let's see here. Fiverr donated $10 through Super Chat. Fiverr says, Kenny, a guy has been asking you to talk about Detonator Organ, Tekkaman, and Tekkaman Blade. I also agree with that because they're radical. Tekkaman is good. Like, there's a lot of Tatsunoko stuff that, like, I would say, like, in general, nobody knows about Tatsunoko, which is weird, because, like, we did get Tatsunoko versus Capcom on the Nintendo Wii. It's like, nobody knows about Karas, nobody knows about Time Boken, nobody knows about, like Speed Racer is Tatsunoko. People should know about it, but at some point, I will probably cover some more Tatsunoko stuff, so Tekkaman and Tekkaman Blade, yeah, right up my alley. What else we got? Detonator Organ, also, yeah, that's a pretty good anime. I could do a video on that. But that's the thing, like, some people know about that, and I like skewing more towards the lost media stuff. Have I seen the Kaiji spin-off? Yeah, of course. If you watch my video on Cypher, the video, I talk about the spin-off about, God, what was it? Middle Manager Tonegawa. Like, I talked about that for like a minute in that Cypher the video review. So yes, I'm very aware of the Ultimate Survivor Kaiji spin-offs. Okay, so hopefully, let's see. So this should be, wait a second here. There we go, the Fire Hair. I think this is the one that allows you to hit 2 enemies at the same time with 1 attack. So let me switch to this. Okay, do I have another ability there? No, I guess not. Okay. Okay, and I think this is actually one of the last levels. The problem is this game just ramps up in difficulty like you would not believe during this final level here. And that is a Pompadour. Have I seen the Ultimate Survivor Kaiji spin-off though? Yes, I have. What else is going on in the chat while this cutscene plays? Let's see here. We need a video. Okay, from the Dragon Girl 27 says, hey there, after seeing the new Fire Emblem meme video, I'm curious what are your opinions on the Fire Emblem anime? It's okay. I mean, it's an OVA, so it's one of those anime that they made to promote the video game. So, like, as a thing that stands on its own, it's not that great. But, like, if you're a Fire Emblem fan, there's nothing wrong with it. You know, it's just kind of one of those things where, like, it exists. It's better for its English dub. I'll put it that way. The bad English dub that it has, it adds a little bit of value to it. So I would watch that in English if you can. Let's see. Gotil says, would you like some recommendations for odd, obscure PlayStation 2 games? Yeah, if you want to email me some stuff. Let's see. Minute Bracelet donated $2, says you should play G-Savior. Also, is your PlayStation 2 Japanese? It's American, but I have this like swap magic disc that allows me to play imports. So it's not Japanese, but I can play Japanese stuff. How much does somebody pay for rare big box VHS tapes? Well, here's the thing. A lot of big box VHS tapes, and you know what? Here, let me have a bite of something to eat. Give me a second here. To answer your question, a lot of big box VHS tapes, those were like for rental stores, right? So a lot of them just have not survived. So I would say they're pretty rare. Pick them up when you can. Let's see, what else we got here? Donations. 2009 Bandman says, I saw you use clips from Johnny Destiny in the last video. Will you do a full video on that masterpiece? Finally, somebody notices that wasn't Gundam in that video. 2009 Bandman, you know what you're talking about. I like to put these like little Easter eggs in videos just to wait and see if somebody knows what little tiny clip that I found. Nobody knows what that baseball mascot that I used in the video is either, and I feel like that should be a thing eventually. What is this cutscene? Why is this still going? I have no idea why this is going this long. Maybe I have to skip it? No. Here's the thing, look, there's Don Patch. Does the game expect me to skip this for some reason? But yes, that was from Johnny Destiny Space Ninja. Just to keep you posted on new stuff, Kenny, there's a new contender for worst anime this season. X-Arm currently scored 2.32 on Mal and falling. Oh, there's Bobobo. So it is changing a tiny bit. And there's the boss. Why is this cutscene not ending? Is it still going? Okay, it's changing a little bit. What is this game? Why is Bobobo so weird? Why does it have so many long cutscenes? As far as watching X-Arm, I'm not going to watch X-Arm. Do you have any idea how many old bad anime there are? Like, if I start watching modern bad anime, I'm just going to, like, end up completely, you know, my schedule is going to be nothing but bad anime. Okay, here we go. All right. All right, come on. Oh my god, these enemies, they hit so hard in this level. Like, oh my god. Okay, I gotta actually focus here. Oh my god. I hope the run doesn't end here. This level is so insane. Look at this. Look at how much damage they do. Like, I'm hitting them, and the game still... Okay, maybe I'm just not going fast enough or something. Yeah, I probably just need to react a tiny bit faster. Alright, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Now I'm doing slightly better. I just need to react slightly faster, I'd say. That's the thing, the game really does just ramp up in difficulty, like, really, really crazy at some point, so... There we go. Okay, doing good now. Oh, doing worse. It's not easy, the fist in the nose hair. Alright. Thank God I've got a tube TV, because, like, you really do need that, like, split second of reaction time for this. Like, anything like Guitar Hero or Rhythm Heaven, where it's like you really, really need that little just tiny split second in order to react. Because like a lot of those games, like shmups, like, you know, call them shmups or shoot 'em ups. Like they really just were based off of arcade games and stuff like that, and they wanted to take all your quarters. So if you did not have exact timing on some of this stuff, you're just gonna lose. That's just how it is with a lot of these video games. Okay, come on, come on. Ah. I had to use one of my armpit attacks. See, here's another thing on the bottom left there, right? You've got these icons. I have 2 of those superpower attacks, and those are my my armpit hair bombs. So, hopefully I have enough to actually get through this level. I wonder how easy it would be to survive Elite Beat agents on. Okay, hold on. Oh my god! It just why is it so much harder all of a sudden? Oh man. This is just, like, brutal. Holy. Alright. Come on. You know, and I apologize for not being able to read the chat while I'm playing this. I'll try. Like, the second I lose, or when, like, the boss battle is over, I'll read the chat. But this is, like, one of those games that does not want you to not focus 100% of the time, which is like incredible that you can even stream a game like this. But maybe I'll switch to something a little more laid back, like, I don't know, Metal Slug. Maybe I'll play some Metal Slug, something that's a little bit easier. Something I can pause. Like, that's the main problem. When you can't pause a video game, that tends to not be like a good candidate. But I like this Bobobo game. It's simple. You know, it may be completely in Japanese, but, like, you don't need to read any of it. Oh my god. Okay, doing a little bit better. Oh, nope, no, not doing so great. Okay, come on. Alright. Ah, I lost. That's the first time I think I've lost a level. This is fun to watch. It's a really difficult game on the last level. I'll try and be a little bit better. It says I got a B. Okay, so as long as I do better every time, I'll stick with it. Let's see. It's not his mustache. It's his fist of the nose hair. Yes, it is. $5 from Grimoire of Kenji. Grimoire of Kenji says, have I seen the remake of Sorceress Stabber Orphan from a few seasons ago? What'd you think of it? I just tend to not watch modern anime. I know that's not what you want to hear, but, you know, I'm up to, you know, like, my waist in lost media and VHS tapes. I'm literally going through Japanese TV recordings on VHS that I bought from, like, an eBay lot recently, so, like, at that level, you know, I don't really have the time to be watching modern anime. But I don't know. If you think I should look into it, maybe I will. You know, I think people are here because I'm talking about the stuff that nobody else is talking about. If I start talking about the modern anime, you know, like, the channel kind of loses all its cohesion. You know what I mean? Okay, doing a little bit better. Nice. See, that's the thing. I just need to react slightly faster in order to be able to beat this. Yeah, look, I haven't gotten hit once now. I know I'm going to jinx it eventually. But yeah, look at how much better I'm doing. All right. All right. See, it's all just practice. That's all video games are. Video games are like a musical instrument. You play them enough, you get better at them, and that's all you need to do. You be the best Bobobo you can possibly be through practice and perseverance and heart. Alright, now I'm doing really good. See, when Bobobo starts dancing, that's how you know you're rocking out good. Now I'm fighting good. Up. Did a little bit worse there because I got hit like 2 times. Oh, wow. Okay, focus. I got too cocky. Alright. Got it. Let's see. Come on, where are they coming from? I feel like maybe having like a widescreen TV might help with this like a tiny bit, but it probably wouldn't give me that much more that much more like help. But yeah, the tube TV is helping like tremendously. Okay. All right. Oh my god, that one enemy. There we go. Okay. Oh, come on, I hit it. Got him. Okay. Little bit more. Got it. Oh. Alright, gotta focus. I'm not doing worse, I would say, than the last time. Like, at least I'm not, like, immediately getting a game over. Like, that's how you know you're doing at least okay. Like, you know, as long as I'm not getting a game over, I'm fine with that. Bobobo, body. Do. The most modern anime I hate is ReZero. You know, people keep telling me that that's a bad anime. I've never seen it. Most obscure anime I know of is Megaten. So you're talking about the Shin Megami Tensei anime? Yeah. Here's the thing about Shin Megami Tensei. That is like that series is based on a book. So it's weird where I think the anime is based on the book instead of the video game series. So it's one of those weird situations where like people will be watching it expecting it to be like the video games, and it's just not, because it's not based on the games are based on a book and the anime is based on a book. So it's very different from what you would consider like Shin Megami Tensei. Ah, come on. There we go. Woo! There we go. Now I got a third character. All right. Oh, I got hit again. Okay, come on. Oh, come on. See, this is probably when you're supposed to use the armpit hair bombs. Come on. Like, this is just ridiculous, this one area. Okay, come on. Okay. Ah, I lost again. I'll give it one more shot, and if I can't beat the level after like another 1 or 2 tries, then I'll switch games for you guys. I know it's not fun not hearing me talk in the chat. Most obscure anime I know of is Megami Paradise OVA. Yeah, I guess maybe that's not the same thing as Shin Megami Tensei. Alright, let me see if I missed any donations. Let's see, new contender. Have I seen the remake of that? I have not. Okay, cool. Alright. Try this one more time at least. And then maybe I'll switch to something else. I got other ideas for things. Oh, that's the wrong level. I played the wrong level. Okay, so now since there's no way to exit the level, I have to automatically lose just to exit. This is not a very well-designed game. This title has me crying, my dude. With the title of my stream, I was thinking about making it something like Kenny Lauderdale's Crab Shack and Waffle House or something like that. But you know, it's just you gotta have just play normally. No, I'm gonna skip this level. I gotta try and beat the last level. Let's see. This title has me crying. Has anyone here watched Yoga and Kaisha? Never heard of that one. $2 from Rocket Insano. I nominate Golden Boy for best English dub anime of all time. Yeah, I would say Golden Boy. Mad Bull 34 is really high up there. Cowboy Bebop, I would say, is good for like legitimately being a very good anime. Okay, let's see. Play Jump Ultimate Stars, but you can use only Kaniku Man. I don't have Jump Ultimate Stars. I'm sorry. Okay. Final level. Starto. Alright. It's pretty good representation of being alone. And okay, do loop on third. Alright. I gotta focus here. Alright. See, this early area is like so much easier because they just don't send as many enemies out at you. Like that area that I keep on dying in, it's like like 4 enemies on screen at all times. Okay, come on. Alright, alright, alright. Doing good. Alright. Okay, rocking good. So, here, since you guys are here for the videos, I guess, what content would you like to see coming from the channel in the future? Do you want to see more Lost Media? Do you want like recommendations? Because a lot of people have been telling me that they just basically subscribe for the regular reviews and the recommendations. I like doing the history videos a little bit more, but you know, do you guys want Lost Media? Do you guys want like regular reviews? Do you want like variety videos? Like, not everybody might like that video that I did just recently on things that technically might be anime. However, I had a lot of fun making that because it's a lot of weird examples of things that you normally wouldn't consider to be anime. So I don't think I'll be as experimental in the future videos because, you know, people tend to not like it when you start questioning what things are, apparently. You know, so I think in the future, like, the next video is probably going to be another J-drama. And sometime after that, maybe like another story that I can convey to you guys, kind of like The Curse of Minky Momo. Something where I'll maybe introduce you to an anime and then I'll tell a crazy story that has to do with something. Not a cursed anime, but something that affected the real life world. Like, that's always interesting to see where like anime kind of leaks into reality. You know, when you have a story like that, that's always a fun thing to talk about. Or maybe a bonus video. Maybe, you know, maybe I'll just kind of like put together like another trivia video about a bunch of stuff. Yeah, now I'm doing really good. All right. What, did you guys actually see the video on Silverfang that I put out? I thought it was pretty good. It's not, obviously I'm not cracking any jokes, and maybe it's a little dry, but I thought it was pretty good. You know, standard history video. Okay, ugh. Alright. Come on, focus. Alright. Okay. Got him. I hope I'm getting the hang of this now. Yeah, I feel, look, there we go. Feel like I'm doing slightly better now. Alright. Okay, come on. Alright. Okay. I'm Bobobo and good. I'm the master of the fist of the nose hair. Oh, okay, maybe I'm doing a little bit worse now. The second that I get cocky is when all of a sudden I start doing bad. Alright, come on. There we go. Got it. Okay, so now I got another nose hair bomb. There we go. This is when you want to use the power-up, because like this, like at some point the game is just like, we don't want you beating it. So like if you're not like paying attention 100% of the time, then you're gonna lose. It's one of those video games where they, like, video games I feel like used to be more gamey. Is that a word? Is that a thing? They had more gameplay in them. And this is a game where it's like, this is all the game is about, is doing good. If you're not good, you lose, and that's all there is to it. You know, there's no, there might be like an easy mode or something, but it's like, you know, easy mode. Why would you want to play a video game on easy mode? It's not as challenging and fun if you go in that direction. And besides, like, this game was like made for like Japanese kids. What am I gonna do? Play the Bobobo game on easy? Like, who's gonna do that? It's not what I'm about. All right. Come on. Okay. Ugh. Oh man. Hopefully I have enough of the attacks here for this. Holy moly. How are you supposed to get through that? Man, that is ridiculous. I've got a feeling the way to get through that is I probably have to save all 3 of my armpit hair bombs, in order to get through that area, and I only had 2 left when I went through there. I've got a feeling if I save all 3 of them, and I use all 3 in succession at the end there, I'll probably be able to get through it. Now it says I did A, so apparently I was doing a little bit better. Let me see what those donations were. Got a couple here. Always need more delinquent schoolgirls. Also need a t-shirt with "You're gonna love this" on it. Awesome catchphrase, by the way. Is that my catchphrase? I tend to really repeat myself, and it's like, it's not on purpose. I'm not trying to brand myself. I barely even have a logo. You know what I mean? There's people who are like, Kenny, you should have like t-shirts and like coffee mugs and stuff. I'm like, I don't even have a logo. Okay, I just talk about anime. I'm not about like trying to sell you a brand. You know what I mean? So, what was I saying? Like, I don't have a catchphrase. Is my main thing that I'm trying to say there. I don't know. Maybe I should have a catchphrase. People used to have catchphrases. TV used to be a thing where like you'd be watching a TV show and like some guy would say his catchphrase and he'd be like, he said the thing, and then the crowd would clap. It's better days. So I don't know. Maybe I'll bring it back. I don't think like YouTubers in general have catchphrases. Is that like a thing that came back into style and I just never noticed it? See, I like this game a lot better when it's not trying to immediately, instantly kill me. You know what I mean? Like, if the whole game was like this, I would be a lot more forgiving of it. But, they always have to make the very last level almost impossible to beat. That's just how they do it. I don't know, was Bobobo, was that actually popular in America? Like, obviously it aired on TV, and we might have gotten maybe the GameCube game, but I've got a feeling like that never caught on for some reason. Oh, sweet! Did I open up a new level? Oh, new path! Monkeys! This is completely brand new! I played the first level over again, and for some reason it opened up a new path. Awesome! This game is amazing! Remember secrets? Remember when there were secrets in video games and you didn't know what was gonna be in them? That makes me feel like a kid. You know? Just playing a video game, you don't know what it's gonna throw at you, going in blind. I feel like the internet just kind of ruined a lot of the mystery of video games in general, you know what I mean? Like when Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 64 came out. Do you have any idea how mind-blowing it was that, like, Captain Falcon from F-Zero was in that game? And, like, you didn't know until all of a sudden you're playing, like, arcade mode, and he just pops up out of nowhere. And, I kind of like that, and now, like these days, like, everybody's data mining video games, and just, like, everybody knows everything about him. I don't even know if there's any, like, videos of this game on YouTube, to be honest. And there probably aren't any, like, game FAQs or game facts, however people say it these days. It's frequently asked questions. It should be game FAQs. I'm sticking to that. But, like, I doubt there's any guides for this, you know what I mean? Thankfully, it's really very, like, the language barrier is not, like, a factor for this video game. So, something anyone can really enjoy, I would say. But it's Bobobo. Everybody loves Bobobo. How you not love Bobobo? Yeah. Now this is awesome. See, it's new music too. All right. I guess if you do well enough at a level, it'll all of a sudden just give you like brand new branching paths. Because I swear this wasn't available earlier. That must have been a thing that I just unlocked. Yeah! Now I'm playing good. Right now, I'm the only person probably on planet Earth playing this video game. Isn't that a weird thought? That there's like billions of human beings, there's billions of people, but I just happen to be that one person who was like, yeah, you know what, I want to play the Bobobo PlayStation 2 rhythm game that only came out in Japan. Sometimes I'll be watching anime at like 4 a.m. in the morning, as I often do, and I'll be like, man, there's no way I'm not the only person on planet Earth watching this show from like the 1980s. And it's a real sobering and humbling thought to think about that. So I don't know, maybe somebody in the chat after this will all of a sudden start playing Bobobo after I do this stream. Because I mean, look at this. Look how amazing this is, and nobody basically knows that it exists, which is a problem, I would say. And really, that's like kind of why I started up the video. I wanted the channel. I wanted to add some context to YouTube, or just the world in general. Talk about Skeban Deka, talk about Armor Hunter Mellowlink, California Crisis, all those good OVAs. And Mellowlink is technically an OVA, by the way. That was not released on TV. It's like 13 episodes, but it was direct to Laserdisc and VHS, technically. But yeah, if you can introduce people to cool things, I kind of feel like you're making the world a slightly better place, Okay, so now I gotta fight this alien now. Let's see, always need more delinquent schoolgirls. Yeah, well, the next video is probably going to be another J-drama, another Sukeban J-drama that I've been wanting to do a video on for a while. Hopefully that materializes. I think I have enough material for it. But like I said, a lot of that information out there is just difficult to get. Okay, come on. All right. Come on. Alright, I think it's 4 more hits until I get this guy. Alright. Maybe it's just 1 more. Maybe once you start doing good enough and you do enough attacks in a row. Yeah, there we go. It lessens how many hits you have to do. Where's the Bobobo like Twitch streamer like speedrun channel? I would love to look up like how many people have actually like tried to speedrun this. Somebody look this up, like on Twin Galaxies or something. Is there like a speedrun record for the Bobobo PS2 video game? Because like if I beat this, maybe it'll turn out that oh, I got a different nose hair. All right, I gotta equip that. Definitely. Let's see. Maybe if I beat this game, I'll have the world record on it, because I'm like the only person on planet Earth who has ever actually beaten this game. That's a weird thought, but could be true. You never know. Let's see. Okay, different nose hair. So that's a fire nose hair, regular electric nose hair. Here we go. Forbidden nose hair. But you know what? I actually got another... Wait, I got 2 unlocks from that last level. So maybe there's another one. Here we go. Let's get the toothbrush gang over here. Okay, so we got a couple of donations. Let me see if I can find them. Icelena says, I can say the same sort of people in the US that loved Furikuri, loved Bobobo. It was semi-popular and has a cult following, but that's it. Yeah, like if somebody asks you, hey, what's your favorite anime? And the answer is Bobobo, like, that's immediately, that person is cool, right? I feel like that's a secret handshake between cool people. Like if you need like a secret password to get into a cool retro anime club, there's like a bouncer at the door, and the question is, what's your favorite anime? And you answer Bobobo, and they'll be like, you're on the list, welcome, enjoy. I feel like that's a good litmus test if you have decent taste in anime. Let's see. William Harris says, I always need more delinquent schoolgirls. Read that one. Ross Wolf says, the secret is Kenny does run a carpet warehouse. Wouldn't that be crazy if I was running like the long con, and I really do own a carpet warehouse, and that's my day job? I'm not saying it's not. I'm not gonna ruin the dream, but let's see. Icelanda says, I can say the same of people who like that. Okay, read that one. Nintendo Wii donated $2 through Super Chat. Let's see. Corone played this game on one of her streams. Okay, well, there you go. Corone is officially best VTuber. There you go. E-Man Electro donated $5 through Super Chat, says, do you have any plans to do a follow-up or update your video on California Crisis? I did find new info on California Crisis, and to be quite honest with you, I have a physical VHS tape for that anime, and I really should just like restore that thing so I can make a proper review on it. But yeah, I could re-review that California Crisis video. And the last time I did that, and I know you guys don't want me redoing videos, but I did redo the video on Dragon's Heaven at one point, and now that's like one of my top videos. So, I don't know, maybe at some points, it would probably be really fast and easy to do, so if I ever need quick, easy content, maybe I'll redo California Crisis at some point. Alright. Like, generally, I don't like redoing videos, but, like, with the California Crisis video, that's, like, not even 10 minutes long, so I could probably improve that if I wanted to. I don't consider myself the best anime YouTuber on the sites, and to be quite honest, I hope you view me in that same way, as you do basically anyone who talks about VHS. Like, if you wanted, like, a picture of me in your mind, just, view me as that one weird guy at the video rental store who's, like, always, like, who works there, and who's always just, like, recommending VHS tapes. And be like, oh, yeah, what, you never seen Bobobo? Yeah, it's pretty good anime. You know, it's based on Fist of the North Star. You know, it's got a lot of good parody stuff in it. You know, they make fun of Dragon Ball Z occasionally. Good stuff, yeah. I recommend Bobobo. I mean, it's weird, but it's good. So yeah, you know, if you need like a rental recommendation, go ahead. That, like, you know, I don't consider myself really even to be an anime YouTuber. That's the thing. Like, they make these like anime YouTuber like tier lists, and I'm never like even like in the D rank. Because, like, I'll be on these lists, and I'm not saying, like, I Google search my name. Oh, I should have attacked that, that thing on the left, on the right-hand side, that vending machine. If I had blown that up, I would have been able to unlock the new level. So I actually have to go through this level again. Anyway, but going back to what I was saying, like, I don't even really consider myself to be an anime YouTuber, but I do show up on these anime YouTuber lists, and I'm always in, like, D or E or F rank for some reason. And I think that's just because, like, technically, I guess I'm an anime YouTuber, but, like, I talk about other stuff, right? I talk about J-dramas and things like that, so, I don't know. My point is, I don't really understand where I'm coming from. So since I have to restart this level, I may as well read some of the super chats. Give me a second here. Do I have plans to do an update video on California Crisis? Yes, at some point. Like I said, I've got the physical VHS tape. I may as well do it, right? And that's the thing about that anime too. That's never gonna get re-released. The company that made it, I think they were called like, was it Pony Canyon or something like that? They went out of business like almost immediately after they put that anime out. And according to anime historian, what was his name? Fred Patton? He talked to the guys that made that anime. And according to him, it was basically like a write-off. There was this company called, I think it was called Hero Media Associates, which is like the most like legitimate Yakuza type anime company I've ever heard. But there was this company called like Hero Media Associates that funded California Crisis. And according to him, they basically just flew out a bunch of Japanese people as a business expense to California, had them take a bunch of photographs, and just like make that anime as like a money laundering scheme or like a write-off. So like I do want to talk about that stuff in the video. So yeah, maybe at some point. You know, I don't generally like to redo videos, but that would be a good one. Okay, so I need to play this level again, and when I do it, I keep confusing the O button and the cross button over and over again. Okay, I need to redo this video, and I need to hit the vending machine on the right side of the level. If I do that, that will unlock the new branching path. Alright, here we go. Bobobo, Bobobo, Bobobo. You know what's another cool thing about this game is like this doesn't set off like any of the YouTube stuff because all the vocal themes in this game are made specifically for the Bobobo PS2 video game. So like I know I'm not going to have any problems streaming this, which is another cool thing about playing video games that really only you care about. It's like no one's gonna claim the video for like the Bobobo PS2 video game theme. You know what I mean? Like that's an unintended side effect of being into weird Japanese PS2 games. It's just like nobody cares about them. So you know that's always a welcome bonus. You know what I mean? All right. Now, where is that vending machine? As long as I hit it, I should be able to unlock the new branching path. And, you know, that's assuming that the branching paths are unlocked the same way in each level. For all I know, they're not unlocked that way, but, like, there's no guides on this game. We're kind of in uncharted territory as far as Bobobo goes. Bobobo goes. And that's another thing. This is a fun series to say. Like, just saying Bobobo is a fun thing. It's not even like a Japanese thing. It's just a fun phrase, you know, which like surprises me why they never adapted the full series. Like if you look at the anime, they adapted like the first couple of volumes and they never continued. And I guess maybe just the series wasn't popular enough or something like that. But you do see that happen occasionally with Shonen Jump stuff. Like one anime that really got butchered that Shonen Jump did, I think it was, oh, you know what happens? I wasn't able to unlock the new path because I wasn't doing good enough. I'm guessing the vending machine only shows up if you're doing, like, perfectly or something. That is interesting. Huh. Alright, whatever. Maybe I'll try and get a S rank on this level or something. There we go. Alright. Alright, do you guys want me to keep playing Bobobo? Because I could switch to something else. I could switch to a different video game, but if you guys are cool with this, I'll keep hammering away at Bobobo. Alright. Now, like, here's another thing. I should probably be playing, like, a video game that's actually, like, you know, pausable. Pausing is, like, a big part of video game streaming, I guess. Alright. Hopefully I can actually save in this. If I can't, I'm gonna lose, like, a lot of progress if I wanna do this during another stream. Please review this anime. What is there to say about Bobobo? It's amazing. Like, people know about Bobobo. I don't need to make a retrospective on, like, what would you even name that video? What, the art of laughter, a Bobobo retrospective. Like, come on, seriously. Unless I make a video called, like, Bobobo is awesome, which nobody would watch, by the way. You know, like, there's basically, like, no way to do it. I have so much, like, lost media I'd like to cover firsthand. I don't know, like, contact, like, Giguk or the Anime Man or something like that and, petition them to do a review on Bobobo then. Like, I'm not saying I'll never do it, but, like, you know, there's other people with more reach than I do that probably would be able to, like, do it justice, I would say. But then again, like, I feel like that's one of those anime where it's not super old, but it's, like, not new enough where most people would talk about it, which is, like, a weird situation, I would say. A nose herring review. Just do it. Maybe somewhere down the line. Let's see. Gash Bell, yeah. That's another series that, like, the manga for Gash Bell is fantastic. That's honestly one of my favorite manga. If you have not read the entire manga for Konjiki no Gash Bell, I would recommend that, because honestly, that is a very, very good manga. The anime just did not do it justice. And again, like, it didn't adapt the entire series. So, like, if you're wondering why Gash Bell never got all that good, is because, like, they just didn't do the whole entire manga. They stopped, like, midway through. I think they might have done a movie or two or something, but, like, they're non-canon and they don't adapt anything from the actual manga. So, like, I kind of feel like that's not recommended viewing. But yeah, if you can read the manga for Gash Bell, fantastic series. From what I remember, like the guy that made Gash Bell, he was almost like I don't want to say like banned from Shonen Jump, but he's been kind of blacklisted in the Shonen Jump community because like from what I remember, something happened where like Shonen Jump lost like a bunch of his manga chapters, right? Zatch Bell, not Gash Bell. It's Konjiki no Gash Bell. Okay, that's the name of the series. Zatch Bell is what they changed it to. You know, they're devils. They're not like Mamodo or whatever they called him in the anime. So what was I saying? Yeah, that's the manga for that series. If you haven't read it, fantastic. Definitely recommend that if you have not seen it. Let's see. It has a Z. Well, they couldn't call it Gash Bell in America for some reason, and maybe I'm confusing the two. But like there was plenty of censorship when they brought that to America. They lost the chapters, is what you mentioned. Yes, they lost a bunch of chapters. Like the guy made the manga. He drew it, right? And like when he went to like I think he wanted to like redraw a volume or something like that, and went to Shonen Jump. He's like, oh hey, you know all those manga chapters I gave you? You mind if I have those back? Because I kind of drew those and I kind of own them, and I kind of want to touch up a couple of volumes, and I think he wanted to do it for free too, like right? Like and then they're like, oh, we lost them. We don't know where they are. And he got like so mad at Shonen Jump that they, I think, blacklisted him for like a full year. They're like, yeah, we don't want to work with you anymore. So yeah, that's an interesting thing about that guy. Okay. Shonen Sunday, my mistake. For some reason, I always thought that was a Shonen Jump property. Let's see, do I have opinions on Nobuyuki Fukumoto's non-kaiji stuff? I mean, Legend of the Strongest Man Kurosawa, I would say is solid. Sorry, kind of blew my voice out there. Legend of the Strongest Man Kurosawa, I would say is very solid. Not so much the sequel series they did to it. I thought that manga was pretty, shut. They didn't really need to make a sequel. Obviously, Kaiji is fantastic. Middle management, manager, whatever the name is. God, I can't remember. Like all this stuff is good. I even like the manga that he's done about mahjong. But obviously, like no one's talking about mahjong these days because it's one of those things where it's like if you don't know how to play mahjong, like obviously you're not gonna watch a mahjong anime because you're not gonna know what's going on. I would say even if you know all the rules to mahjong, Akagi will still probably make almost no sense to you half the time. Because like they're just doing crazy stuff. They're throwing out Richis like left and right, and there's too many rules to it, All right, there we go. Now I'm doing good. There we go. Got it. Okay, come on. Did that open up a level or no? Okay. Da 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 da. Like how you not like Bobobo? I mean, like look at how much personality this video game has. All right. All right. Doing good. Now I'm doing a lot better, I would say. See, here's the thing. That right there, you see that vending machine, right? That would have been attackable if I was doing better in the level. And the problem is, like, if you're not doing 100% perfectly, I guess you can't open up those extra levels. Okay, there we go. See, now I'm doing really good. Maybe, I lost it because I got hit exactly one time. Da, 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 da. There we go. Come on. As long as I can keep up this groove, I might be able to open up a new level. There we go. Awesome. I've got a feeling like your nose hair just won't reach the areas that you need to unless you have enough of a power list here. All right, there we go. Oh, I got hit. So you need to be at least 70% in order to unlock the new areas, apparently. There we go. Got it. Okay. Let's see here. Take that, 6. Nice lane image on the chat section. Well, thank you. I feel like it gives me good luck if Lane is watching over the stream. I recently picked up a nice Pioneer Laserdisc player. Got any anime suggestions that I can write down? I mean, like, none of it is, all of it is basically, Laserdisc is region free. So if you have a Laserdisc player, there aren't really a lot of anime on Laserdisc in English. So, I mean, if you want to watch things that are non-subtitled, you know, sky's the limit. In Japan, they even released things like Cowboy Bebop and Big O on Laserdisc. They were supporting that format all the way up to, like, 2002, which is, like, crazy to think that they were making Laserdiscs that long in Japan, but, I mean, really. Let's see, oh hell yeah, Bobobo, Bobobo. Let's see, read my comments, hold on. I can't pause in the middle of this, so here, once I beat the boss, I'll go back in the chat and I'll see what it was. Yeah, this just isn't a good game to be streaming. I mean, it's like fun, don't get me wrong, it's a great game. But the problem is, like, if you can't pause the video game, then it's not technically all that great to stream. Let's see, talking about obscure radio shows. Well, like radio dramas or like actual radio shows? Because Japan does do a lot of radio dramas. You know, I always thought that was weird. Like, it was a thing that America did in, like, I would say in the 1950s and maybe all the way up to, like, the 1970s. You would have, like, radio dramas on television. You would hear a spooky story or something like that. But they just don't do them anymore. However, in Japan, like, they've done radio dramas, like, forever. Let's see, we'll love the table flip game. Holy crap, that Bobobo thumbnail. Thanks. I thought it was pretty good. Let's see. Maybe that's part of the reason why I do good on YouTube. I make decent thumbnails. You know, I see these channels where they'll be talking about anime. I'm like, the video is fantastic, right? And they'll just have, like, the worst looking thumbnail and you just don't want to click on it. Tonagawa, yes, Middle Manager Tonagawa. Good anime. All the US radio dramas are now podcasts, yeah. You know, people keep telling me that I should do a podcast, and I'm like, technically I could. I consider, like, this a podcast, you know what I mean? Okay, so I'm going to redo this level, and if I can maintain a 77%, if I can get up to 70-something%, I should be able to unlock the new path. Do you not have your streams available to watch afterwards? They get unlisted, so it's not like they disappear, but here's the thing, like, when you have a channel where you're doing reviews and stuff, and, like, half of your videos are streams, it really kind of screws up the way the channel looks. I can make a playlist. If you guys want, like, a playlist or something like that, you know, email me for a playlist. You can watch my old streams. I don't think they're all that interesting, to be honest with you, but, I don't know. Maybe that's something I'll do someday. Yeah, there we go. Do-do-do. Bo-bo-bo-bo-bo-bo-bo. Yeah. Got him. All right. See, now I've got 70%. If I can maintain this, I might be able to open up the new level. Okay. Come on. All right, there we go. I got Don Patch. All right, come on. Yeah. Now I'm doing good. All right. Right now I'm the best person on planet Earth at this video game. Oh, I missed it. It was right there. Did you see it? I didn't react in time. That was the way to open up the new level. Son of a... Oh, that sucks. It's only like attackable for like a split second. It was in my peripheral vision, but I was focusing on actually hitting things and I didn't get it. The Bobobo anime was canceled because parents critiqued the show making their children stupid for the same reason. Yeah, well, Bobobo is stupid, but it's the you know, I like the way that Bobobo is stupid. You know, can I say that? Like, Bobobo can be stupid. What's the problem with things being stupid? Stupid things are fun. That's like the one time that I disagree with the parents. Like, if parents got Bobobo canceled, then, like, I don't know what they were doing. Alright. Okay. Alright. I definitely really want to badly see the extra level for this game. I'll give this level one more shot just to see if I can open up the extra path. But yeah. I mean, it's fun. Like, as you start to get better, the game starts rocking a little bit harder and you're like, yeah, Bobobo. Why not? As for what I'm gonna switch to, I don't know. I've got ideas. But I figure I want to stream this game like at least another 30 minutes, because really, like, nobody's played this. There's mysteries to be had. You know, who knows what could be in the Bobobo video game on the PlayStation 2. It's like undocumented. Alright. Okay. Come on. See, this is a little like Guitar Man. If you guys have played Guitar Man, like it's got the defending. Like it's got the defending phase of the boss battles. It's got the it's got like the stick controls. I would say this feels like a combination of maybe Katamari Damacy. What's another good example? Maybe Ape Escape. It kind of feels like. And how else would I describe this? Maybe, you know, maybe Ape Escape, Katamari Damacy, and Guitar Man. That's what this feels like. I'm getting major Guitar Man vibes. Yeah, because it feels like Guitar Man. It's a rhythm game that controls with the sticks. So yeah, maybe Guitar Man would be the closest, like, approximation for what this is like. I know you guys aren't playing the game, but that's what it feels like. Because you're using the two sticks to control the game in a way that is very Guitar Man-esque. Yeah! I'm almost at 100% here. Alright, come on. There we go. I got 100%. Now I got my fist of the nose hair attack. I don't know what this does. I think this honestly just gives you points. I mean, it's fun. Like, I'm glad that it exists in the game, but I don't think this actually gives you, like, what the incentive is, like, from a gameplay perspective. I don't know why it's there. I'm assuming it just gives you a bunch of cool attacks. Here's the thing, like, I like video games that just do cool things. There doesn't have a reason. There doesn't need to be a reason for something cool to happen, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you should just, like, you just want cool things to happen in a video game. There doesn't need to be a gameplay explanation for why, like, Bobobo's awesome meter gives you a crazy attack when it gets all the way to the end. I think you lost health from that, did it? Well, maybe. But it automatically activates. It's not like a move. Don't forget that there's a Patreon Discord set up for just one to join. Yes, there is. Thank you very much for plugging my Patreon. Let's see here. Okay, give me a second to do this boss battle, and then I will get to the donation messages right after it. Okay, come on. Ah! Okay, I missed that one. Like, that's another thing. When they brought this to America, like, that guy clearly does not have a chocolate ice cream swirl for a head. I can't say what that is on the stream. However, like, when they brought that to America, they changed his head to, like, strawberry ice cream, I think, was the explanation for what that guy is. Which I think is, like hilarious, because it's, like, clearly is what it is. Ah. I think this was undocumented for a good reason, but it's awesome. Why would people not know about the Bobobo PS2 game? Let's see here. I've got Mike says, if you don't know any anime manga existed, then how do you go about finding it in the first place? You just start going through random auctions for, like, VHS tapes. That's really the only way that you can find lost media. You just kind of stumble on it, which is like a really non-specific way to say that you just, like, look through auction sites and hope you find something interesting. But that is just kind of how it is at some point. Like, somebody will mention, hey, what is this? And I'll look it up. I'll be like, I don't know. Well, like, should I know what this is? Sometimes things are lost media just because nobody really looks into it. You gotta be the change that you want in the world. You want lost media to be found? Just look into it. It's fun. Alright. Alright, come on. Hey, somebody donated to Patreon. Thank you very much. I will get to your message in a second. Alright, come on. Come on. Ah, I missed again. The sticks on my PS2 are, like, really inaccurate for some reason. Alright. Come on. Like, this is only, like, the third level. This shouldn't be so hard, but I keep getting these diagonals. There we go. I keep getting the diagonal attacks, and they just don't register for some reason. Like, look at that. Like, that registered as an up and a diagonal, when really, like, I was holding it. Don't know why it didn't register. Alright, come on. Hey, another Patreon donation. Thank you very much. I also, like, to make it worth it for you guys, I know there's the Discord, obviously, but I'm also posting, like, trivia on there to try and make it worthwhile for you guys. I'll probably put up a bunch of trivia about Ginga Nagare Boshigin in the Patreon very soon. I've been working on it, but I have, like, at least, like, 4 different series that reference Ginga Nagare Boshigin that I want to put up on Patreon, so yep, definitely gonna have some cool stuff on there, so thank you very much for the donation. Come on. There we go. Got it. Alright, one more. Come on. Got it. Okay. Okay, show of hands in the chat. Do you guys want me to switch games or just, like, keep rocking it out to Bobobo? Okay, hey Kenny, what happened to your video on Cyber Divers and Overlord? The video that I did on Download Devil's Circuit, I kind of felt like it was low quality, so I took it down. And honestly, it's like a 4-minute video, so it's not like it was a very in-depth review. So I thought that was low quality, so that's like a Patreon reward now. I didn't delete it or anything. I might redo it at some point. And as far as the Overlord review, that review that I did on Overlord, which is just like a standard, regular review on a modern anime, that was the most disliked review on my entire channel. It was at like 94% dislikes. So I was like, you know what, this isn't doing me any favors. So that's just one of my unlisted videos. Nobody liked it. I don't know why. I think it's because, like, I was reviewing it seriously as like a standalone thing. And also at the time that I reviewed it, there was only season 1 of Overlord, right? So you watch it and I'm talking about how it just kind of ends on a cliffhanger. And then, like, later on they did two more seasons of it. So, you know, it didn't make sense to leave that up, cuz like you watch it and you're like, you know, why does Kenny have problems with it? It's like, well, you know, I made it at the time that there was only 2 seasons, so. Okay, let's try this level. Ah, hold on a second. Okay, so we got a couple more donations. Let me go ahead and read them. So let's see here. Got a bunch of subscribers too. Do I have a follow up or update on California Crisis? I read that. Ethan Davis says, I think this was undocumented for a good reason. Vanik Black Rose donated $5. Says Bobobo was the weirdest anime I ever watched. A perfect example that all anime are culturally cross-compatible. I never understood its deal. Well, here's the thing. Like, Bobobo is something that you feel in your heart. You know, so Bobobo is in your soul. So really, it's one of those cross-world anime. I feel like if we found aliens on some planet out in outer space, they would probably be into Bobobo. You know, I like it, so maybe I've got bad taste in anime or something. Let's see here. We got another donation. Yeah, weirdest anime ever. I enjoy it. It's good. You got a guy with poop for head, so you know it's pretty good. Laboon344 says, "Can you make a video showing your collection of anime and videos?" Well, here's the thing. I would be giving away future videos if I did that, wouldn't I? Yeah, Bobobo is the anime for the Giga Chads. Bobobo is the next step in human evolution. Even though your streams are unlisted, could you still make a playlist for them? Maybe. I guess. How about I put up like a poll on the community tab or something? You know, if enough people vote to make for me to like put my anime streams, my video game streams, I should say, on a playlist or something, then maybe. You know, I just kind of feel like it's weird having them on the main channel, because imagine that you've never seen my YouTube channel, right? And you're there for like Lost Media and Delinquent Schoolgirls and like anime reviews and recommendations and stuff, and like half of the channel is these streams. Like, that would really confuse you, wouldn't it? Like, you wouldn't even be able to find like the reviews buried underneath all of the streams. So I don't know, maybe I should just like upload them on a second channel. That would probably make the most sense. Do you guys want me to like upload these on like a backup channel just for the streams? Cuz like that seems to make the most sense to me as far as like not clogging up the main channel with like tons and tons of reviews. Cuz like otherwise you're going to be getting notifications for streams like every other day. Well, I'm not doing that many streams, but like, you know, you're going to be getting tons of notifications for streams, and I kind of feel like that would dilute the channel a bit. You know what I mean? Okay. Ah, that was close. All right, 4 hit. Okay. All right, I'm getting to my limit with Bobobo here. It's just too hard to pay attention. So I'm gonna end up switching it up to I think Metal Slug would probably be good, because like at least I can pause. You guys want to hear me reading the chat, right? I'm like, I got nothing against the Bobobo PS2 game, but like, you know, I should probably play something I can actually pause. So, give me a second. I will be switching up the games. Let's see. Right, yeah, like exactly. There's probably a reason why nobody has ever streamed this game. You know what I mean? Which one? I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out in a second. Okay. That's not what I want. That's not what I want here. There we go. Okay, so just give me a second here. Gotta turn off my PS2, restart it back up. Okay, let's see if that works. Okay, restart the PS2. Okay. All right, just give me a second. Play number 5, the least liked of them all. Number 5 isn't that bad. I mean, it's got the how do I put it? It's got the slide mechanic. I mean, they did try to vary up the gameplay a little bit. Okay, do that. Gotta do this. Open this. All right, gonna be just one more minute. Do I have a Mega Drive? Yeah, I've got a Sega Genesis and a Mega Drive. And I had like a JVC XI at some point, but I think the PS2 laser like completely broke on me. Play any good anime games on Nintendo Switch? Not recently. I mean, like on the Switch, I played Zelda, Splatoon. I wanted to play Pokemon, but that I'm not paying like $70 for an unfinished game. Games list. Let's see here. Give me a second. Oh, here's the thing. Do you guys in the chat? Do you guys want me to play Metal Slug or Guitar Man? Which would you guys rather have me play? I can play Guitar Man or I could play Metal Slug. Which of those do you want? Xenoblade is a good Switch game. Yeah, I've heard good things about that. Maybe my chat is lagging. Give me a second. Metal Slug, Guitar Man, Metal Slug, Guitar Man, Metal Slug. Let's see, Guitar Man. Let's see, Metal Slug. Looks like okay. You know what? I'm gonna flip a coin because it seems pretty divided. Give me a second here. Let's see. Do I have a coin in my room? There we go. Okay. Okay, let's see. Heads, it's gonna be Guitar Man. Tails, it's gonna be Metal Slug. All right. Okay, so wait. Heads, Guitar Man. Tails, Metal Slug. Okay. Metal Slug. Came up Tails. All right, let me just figure this out. So let me go down to here. Okay, A, B, C, D, E. Come on. All right, press that, and that should be good. 3, 2, 1. Okay, there we go. Yeah, when the coin lands on its side. Well, hey, I flipped a coin. It's a very worn out penny, but it's a penny. I wanted to see you play Guitar Man. It's a good game. It's probably not like the best game to be streaming, but yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, so which Metal Slug do you guys want me to play? I'm okay with playing 5. I think 5 is pretty good, but let's see. Did you see the Magical Girl Tokusatsu? Poitin is in the Tokusatsu Toei channel. Really interesting stuff. Side equals more Bobo. 3. I like 3. However, my main contention with 3, the last level of Metal Slug 3 is so long, it is ridiculous. Roll a dice. Let's see, you ever see Guards Swing? 3, 1, or 4? Okay, so since you guys want me to do that, I'm just gonna play 5. I'm gonna play 5. 5 doesn't get enough love, honestly, and I can just exit out and play a different one anyway, so. Okay, I think I got a donation. Just give me a second here. Let's see, we need a sequel to Twinkle Nora Rock Me. God forbid we got a sequel to that. Let's see, I think this is on document for a good reason. Saws donated $10, says, do you have any professional experience with script writing pre-YouTube? Your videos have some good structure, and I'm curious to know if there's some place we can go to learn script videos like you. I have the worst scripts. You want to know how I actually do scripts for YouTube videos? This is what I do. I'll watch an anime, and as I'm watching it, I'll write a bunch of notes as like bullet points, and then each of those bullet points, what I do is I just try and expand on it with the script. But like clearly I want like maybe like a trivia section, and I want a section about like who made the anime, what context I can give it. But like as far as script writing, I don't think I have very good scripts. I appreciate you saying that they're very well read, but it's like I don't have like a classical education in script writing or anything like that. I didn't go to school for it. Okay. Let's see, that's essentially Angel Densetsu. Hold on a second. Let me just make sure that everything's working. Okay, yeah, everything's working on screen properly. Perfect, okay. You know what? That seems slightly off-center, but you know what? It seems good enough. Which is your favorite Bobobo character? I don't know. I like Bobobo. Bobobo is good. Don Patch is good. You know, the guy with the poop for the head is pretty good. It's honestly been a very long time since I played Bobobo, so... Or sorry, watched it, so... Okay. Enemy Chaser. Let me see. I think there was another donation. So yeah, professional experience to learn script writing? Absolutely not. I have no professional script writing. I guess you could say, like, I watch a lot of other reviews for things that aren't anime to kind of get me in the mood for reviewing and talking about anime, but, like, as far as, like, a professional background in it, no. I don't have any education. Maybe that's why my videos are good. Maybe it gives me, like a raw appeal, because I don't follow any sort of real good narrative structure for my videos. Honestly, I'm just winging it. I'm trying my best. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Maybe I could have been a little bit more clear in that video about, like, things that might be anime. Because, like, honestly, I do consider stop motion and, like, clay, I would say, can be anime. But I was going by, like, the Wikipedia definition, which says it has to be a drawing. So maybe there could have been a line in there saying, you know, just to be perfectly clear, I think stop motion can be anime, but according to Wikipedia, like, I don't think people even really want to hear that. You know, like, I kind of, how do I put this? I like to experiment. And really, the best way to get better at writing, I would say, is just practice. Honestly, like, you know, I would say I didn't start being good at YouTube videos all the way at, you know, from, like, the very beginning. It's something that you get a feel for, you know what I mean? And honestly, like, the best way I should say about doing a good YouTube video is make something that you want to make. Make a video that you would want to watch. You know, I made that video on Golden Bat because he's Japan's first superhero, and there was, like, no information about him. I'm like, why is there no info about Golden Bat? So I'm like, you know what, forget this. I'm just going to sit down and do as much research as I can possibly do and do an entire video on Golden Bat. And that's what I did, and, you know, people seem to like it. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, it was a fun video. There was enough, like, information about Golden Bat to do, like, a follow-up, but it was kind of, like, dry information. Like, you know, who wants to hear me talk about, like, the Golden Bat manga, you know what I mean? You know, like, I look at that video, and most people actually turn it off right after I stop talking about the anime. So, like, it's a wonder I got anybody to watch me talk about the black and white film, you know. But, you know, I wanted to do a video about that, and I did it. Seems to work out. So, yeah, just try your best. You know, if you don't try, then you're definitely not going to be able to make a good video. Again, not perfect advice, but that's my general take on it. Just be objective. If you think your video isn't very good, then see, like, well, why isn't it very good? And, you know, try and improve it. You know, just try. Trying is probably, like, half of it. Let's see. Hey, machine gun. Yes. Have a machine gun. I like how he has a fork when he gets fat. Like, that's classic right there. Okay, get under there. Aw, sick. Let's see. See, we like your vids because they're legit compared to Crunchyroll, who makes crap about merchandising Evangelion timeline. Crunchyroll actually, like, sent me emails saying that they wanted to advertise on my... like, to do, like, a sponsored advertisement on my videos, and I was like, hey, you know, I appreciate you guys wanting to give me money, but, like, I feel like that would make the videos worse. You know, what would you want to hear me talking about Twinkle Nora Rock Me, and then all of a sudden I'll be like, have you guys heard about Crunchyroll? You know, like, it's just not worth, it's not worth the effort, really. You know, you're sacrificing the flow and cohesion of your videos and your channel at that point, so, like, here's the thing, if somebody starts making, like, brand new VHS tapes, sure, I'll do a sponsored video on, like, some website that's making brand new VHS. I would totally be up for that. If somebody starts making laser discs, sure, I'd be totally cool with that too. But, like, if it's not, like, directly related to what I'm talking about, like, why would you ever do that? Please do that voice again. What voice? I can't recreate it. Let's see, Based Kenny. Well, like I said, it's about consistency, right? Like you guys were asking me why don't I have the streams on the main channel? It's because it takes away from how nice looking the main page of the website is. So how did I discover Twinkle Nora Rock Me? The Laserdisc box art looks fantastic. Mikuriya Satomi, like the guy who created Twinkle Nora Rock Me, he's legitimately a fantastic artist. He's very, very, very good. So like he did the box art, you know, or the Laserdisc sleeve, I guess, for the anime, and you look at it and you're like, oh, this might be good. And then I sat down and watched it, and it was just like, you know, legendarily bad. Let's see here. Imagine one of your Lost Media videos getting sponsored by a studio and re-releasing said media. Yeah, that would be fantastic. Hey, we got another Patreon person. Let me go ahead and see what that was. Matt Barr pledged $1 through Patreon. I will send you a Discord invite right after the stream. Thank you very much for doing that. Okay. And that's the thing, like, I don't want to, like, advertise that I have a Patreon either. Like, I only have the Patreon because, like, people were telling me to have a Discord server, right? And I was like, well, if I do a Discord server, how am I going to keep kids out of it? And one person was like, make it $1 to get in, and then that way you'll keep all the children out. And that was the only way I could figure out how to do it. So yeah, now there's a Discord where we talk about lost media, so that's something, I guess. Let's see here. Here's another thing about Metal Slug. Take a look at the actual slug for Metal Slug. Does this thing look familiar to you? I swear, they must have been watching Dominion Tank Police. Have you guys seen Dominion Tank Police? You know, like the anime from the 1990s? I swear, this Metal Slug is the tank from Dominion Tank Police. It looks exactly like it. Let's see, Bonaparte's. Yeah, because, like, there's no other way to keep kids out. That's the thing. What do I want people like kids talking about Charge Man Ken? Like, on a Discord server with a bunch of 30-year-old boomers? Like, there's no other way to go about doing it. To be honest, I should probably make it like a 50 cent Discord like Patreon thing. Like, make it even lower. It shouldn't even be $1. Because really, all that is just to keep kids out. Let's see. Isn't there Dominion? Let's see. Why, of course. Okay, slightly looks like the old school Fuchikoma from Ghost in the Shell manga. A little bit. For some reason, like, a lot of tank designs at the time, like, you know, just look very similar. I don't know why. Dominion Tank Police is awesome. Yes, it is. I really like the English dub. And I don't think they've ever re-released that either. I mean, I've got, obviously, my VHS tapes for it from, was it Manga Home Video? I forget who released it. But I don't think they've ever re-released that dub, which is a shame. Alright. Got it. Wah, wah. God, this video game just makes you feel like such a badass. Let's see, but 30-year-old boomers works as well, yeah. Let's see, let's switch over to Marco. Level of detail that the tanks in the 80s had was insane. Yeah, because, like, you have, like, military otaku that were, like, designing things for these games. And I think that's, like, a large reason why mecha kind of died out, is you just don't have these people who have this, like, technical know-how on how to design a robot, you know? Like, you look at some of this stuff, and you're like, you know, the people who made it were definitely aware of how all these things work. And, like, basically almost every single mecha anime from the 1970s and the 1980s, you look at them and you'd be like, yeah, that would probably work in real life. But a lot of the modern mecha stuff I've looked at, I'd be like, yeah, I don't even know how this robot would combine. It doesn't have any cohesion. These stop motion with mecha gunplay, yeah, God, the guy, Makoto Kobayashi, who did Dragon's Heaven, like, you can clearly tell that was a passion project for that guy. He was so invested in, I think that was right after Zeta Gundam, where he did a bunch of mecha design for Zeta Gundam, and basically everything that didn't make it into Zeta, he ended up rolling into Dragon's Heaven. So, from what I remember, he paid for that entire model sequence just, like, right out of his pocket, right? So, like, clearly, you know, the guy had a thing for his entire expanded universe for Dragon's Heaven. And you can look it up. There's a lot of stuff that's expanded universe for that series, but it's all part of art books and stuff. The guy is still around. He's actually I think on Twitter now. So I don't know. Send him a message. Be like, hey, we want a brand new Dragon's Heaven. He would do it. Like that's his pet project. Code Geass mech makes no sense. What was that manga in which the mangaka was a huge fan? He illustrated detailed gun schematics, told readers how they work and how to shoot. Let's see, the manga with the guy, let's see, huge gun fan. You're probably thinking of Gunsmith Cats. That's the only anime I can think of that is on basically that level. Okay, I'm gonna have to look up some donations. See, isn't this great when you can pause the stream? The Bobobo game was fun. Don't get me wrong, but I like being able to pause. Let's see here. What else we got? Ethan Davis donated 5. Okay, let's see. Vanik Black Rose says, we need a sequel to Twinkle Nor Rock Me. Yeah, God forbid if that actually happened. Sauce donated $10 through Super Chat, says, do you have any professional experience script writing on YouTube? I do not. So I guess that was all like, I guess that was all Discord or Patreon or something like that. It's not popping up for some reason. All right, give me a second. Now I just want to double check. Okay, yeah, we're all good. We're all caught up. Okay, I noticed you would sometimes mention you looked up Spacetoon Arabic dubs in your videos, and sometimes you, let's see. And as someone that grew up with your channel, I appreciate that. Well, here's the thing. I like to be thorough, and when I was doing that video on Minky Momo and Elfie, you know, the underwater Nausicaa anime, one of the big things about it is those shows were aired on international channels like Spacetoon, and pretty much like nowhere else. You know what I mean? So like if you want to be really thorough, you probably should cover like the broadcast history of things like that. And like I just think it's really interesting. Like you look at an anime like Silverfang, and Silverfang, or Ginga Nagare Boshi Gin, as it's known, like literally, like Gin the Shooting Star or the Falling Meteor, however you want to say that. It was really popular in like in Finland, and I guess maybe Sweden and Switzerland, and just like a handful of countries, right? To the point where it was so popular that like the creator of the series is like a mini celebrity only in that country, those countries, and like that's the stuff that like I just love hearing about. You know, because like there's certain anime that are like so huge in specific countries that they're like on the level of like Walt Disney films. Like you look at the Philippines, and the Philippines still absolutely loves Minky Momo to the point where like they think that's basically like their favorite cartoon. There's a bunch of people that grew up with it, and like if you ask somebody from the Philippines of a certain age, like if they had seen Minky Momo, and they're like, well, of course we've seen Minky Momo. Who hasn't seen Minky Momo? And then like you'll tell people like, well, in America we only got the movie and we never got anything else of it. We don't even know about Minky Momo in America. And they'll be like, what are you talking about? You guys never got Minky Momo? You guys had horrible childhoods. And like I just love hearing about that sort of thing. It just makes me smile to learn about it. So yeah, if there is a Spacetoon airing of an anime, I'll cover it. I love hearing about that sort of thing. You know, I'll cover as much of the history of an anime as I possibly can, because like I said, I don't like to redo videos. Redoing that video on things that might be anime was like really painful for me, because I thought I did really well, and then like people in the comments were like, well, you know, this is technically not true, or like, okay, maybe you should probably change this line. And there were like a lot of people that were upset with me when I called GoBots a Transformers knockoff, because like ever since I was a kid, I thought it was like legitimately like a ripoff of Transformers. And then like people complained about it in the comments, and I found out that GoBots actually came out before Transformers. So yeah, like when you make enough mistakes like that, like one or two is fine, but like when you have a bunch of people that are angry at you for like misquoting something, like at that point you'll redo a video. But like generally I like to cover as much about an anime as I possibly can. You know, you want to be thorough. Everybody and their grandma loves Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, like that's one of those anime where basically every country has seen it. That's like a global anime, I would say. Gotta head out later. Okay, we'll see you later, Ferluge. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Thank you for dropping by. I would say Big O is not an underrated gem. Nothing against Big O. Big O is fantastic. I love Big O. Both seasons. Some people don't like the second season. I think the second season is a little more experimental, but it's good. I would say that is not a like a hidden gem or anything like that. Like if something aired on Toonami and like Cartoon Network and Adult Swim, can you really call that a hidden gem? Really, at that point, I pretty much think that like people know about Big O at this point. You know. Let me go ahead and catch up with donations. Wings of Shoe donate $5, says, if you were taking a certain region outside of Japan, South America really loves several anime, including Saint Seiya. Yeah, because Saint Seiya is formatted like one of those telenovela, right? You know, a lot of those countries had a lot of soap operas that kind of feel like anime. So, like, when you have something like Saint Seiya air in a country where they love soap operas and telenovelas, you know, it's like a perfect match. I would say Dragon Ball Z is also kind of like that same sort of coincidental thing. You know, it's just kind of like the format worked perfectly for those countries. You know, I really dislike that kind of like episodic anime kind of fell out of favor. But it seems to me that like these really long flowing, you know, narratives where you've got like an anime that you can marathon on Netflix or something like that tends to be what's popular these days. And like I can't fault people for not wanting one really long story because, you know, it's interesting to see something good unfold from beginning to end. But yeah, I don't know where I'm getting at. You know, watch The Laughing Salesman is basically where I was going with that. Ah, I should have slid. Should have slid. Okay, there we go. All right, trying not to die. Pause. Gundam Wing. All right, let me just take a sip of water here. Give me a second. Okay, where was I? I heard about Blaster Knuckle of Cestus. Kenny, have you watched The Great Pretender? I have not. Wasn't there a Laughing Salesman game? There isn't a Laughing Salesman. Well, actually, yeah. For the MSX2 computer, and then there's a Mega CD game. I thought you were talking about, like, recently. No. There's a couple of visual novels, but, you know, they're all untranslated. I don't even know, like, how you would play them. I guess, technically, it would probably be easy to play the Sega Genesis game. Or, sorry, the Sega Mega CD game. But, like, yeah, like, generally, there haven't really been too many Laughing Salesman games. Have I ever watched Bobobo? I just streamed Bobobo for like 2 hours. So yes, I have. I'll probably play that again later. I just kind of want to vary up the stream a little bit. Let's see. Ever watched Paranoia Agent? Yeah, when it aired on TV on Adult Swim a while back. Yeah, I've seen that. I think everybody's seen Paranoia Agent. I think there was like a big thing online where like nobody had seen Paranoia Agent since it aired because they were airing that on Adult Swim again recently, right? Within I think like the last year, they put Paranoia Agent back on TV. So let's see, love Paranoia Agent, nice, yeah, it's good anime. You know, gotta love Satoshi Kon, he did good stuff. Let's see, they had the entire of Paranoia Agents on YouTube. I'm sure they do. However, as like a YouTube channel, I have to say officially, I do not condone piracy. However, and I'm not saying you should do this, but there is a lot of anime for free on YouTube. Again, don't do it. You shouldn't be watching it, but yes, there is a lot of free anime on YouTube. So, you know, maybe that's a thing to be aware of. But like officially, I can't say like, yeah, just watch everything on YouTube. So, you know, that's my current stance. Found this guy on YouTube called Al Balog that uploads various Japanese things. He probably uploads every Laughing Salesman episode. Key the Metal Idol was great. Yes, it was. Funimation had a big number of series uploaded in full for a while. All right. Yeah, Retro Crush is great. I mean, like, it's basically, I guess there's ads on it, but it's basically a free retro anime channel. They're not going to have most of the stuff that I talk about because it's like borderline lost media, which I kind of feel bad for them because like they've got this like anime streaming website, and they probably want YouTubers to be talking about retro anime that's actually available on their sites. And like here I am talking about like some anime that was only released a single time on VHS that doesn't even have subtitles. Like they must be looking at me like, God damn it, Kenny, why don't you talk about something we have on our website? But you know, I'm about like the lost media, so you know, what can I tell you? Ever hear of a series called Outlanders? Yes, I have. It's got a decent OVA. You know, not a particularly noteworthy anime. It's decent. Some dude randomly uploading the first episode of Goblin Slayer got me to watch it on Crunchyroll. I would say like a lot of these official websites should probably put like the first episode of an anime on YouTube. Like if I were Funimation, I would put the first episode of every anime that they have on YouTube to watch as like a preview, and that would probably get a lot of people to pay for the services and stuff like that, you know? There's nothing wrong with previewing an episode of something. Okay. They used to do that, but they don't do it anymore. I don't see why they would stop. Doesn't really make any sense to me, to be honest. Alright. Oh my god. I used to watch Spacetoon as a kid, funny enough, never heard of Future Boy Conan. Well, you know, Izoken really popularized Future Boy Conan recently, so... Alright. Come on. Ugh. It's amazing, like, how well animated this is. I mean, look at this. This is incredible. What's your favorite anime with the biggest episode catalog? Galaxy Express 39, probably. Maybe Mushishi, something like that. Something episodic and, like, with light philosophy to it. Any thoughts about a recommendation of Evangelion? Evangelion is fine. It's just, like, people act like it's the best anime in the world. I mean, like, I've got a bunch of Evangelion VHS tapes on my main channel as like a picture, so obviously I think it's at least decent. But it's not the best video. It's not the best anime in the world. Would I recommend it? Yeah, Evangelion's fine. I mean, it's got problems like any anime does. It ain't perfect, but it's good. You know, sorry if you wanted some hot take. Yeah, Evangelion is pretty decent. It's not the best anime I've ever seen, but you know, I like what it does. Mushishi, my man, yeah. Mushishi is great. I mean, it's got that movie. It's got 2 seasons. How do you not like Mushishi? I could watch an episode of Mushishi right now. It's not even Anno's best work. You know, I would say Gunbuster probably is his best work. I like aspects of his and her circumstances, but as far as Anno goes, I mean, he's done a lot of good stuff. He even did a lot of interesting work on a lot of like what do they call them? Arrow anime, you know. So yeah, you know, he's done some interesting stuff. He's a good animator. I would say he's a better animator than he is a director. But then again, you know, you look at stuff like Shin Godzilla, which he worked on, and I thought that was pretty good. So maybe he's gotten better over the years. I don't know. I jumped when I shouldn't have. Let's see. Why are they rebuilding Evangelion again? Because it prints money. Why else would they be doing Evangelion? Evangelion, like, they made the end of Evangelion. It was a finished story. They didn't need to make a sequel. The only reason that they're doing it is because it prints money. You know, people are gonna want to see it, so they'll make a ton of money. I mean, like, clearly, Anno doesn't want to keep working on Evangelion until the day he dies. You know, wasn't he involved in like Ultraman recently, or did I imagine that? I'm sure it'll be fine, but you know, you don't need to watch the rebuild films. The TV series already exists. You cannot stop making money. Yeah, exactly. In parentheses. Oh, God, this game, if you do not know when attacks are coming, is just gonna immediately end you. Alright, come on. Alright, there we go. Into the sub. Okay, let me pause for a second here. Catch up with the donations. What do I got? Okay, pause. Let's see, what else we got? Wings of Shu donated $5 through the super chat. Says, if you are taking a certain region outside Japan, South America really loves several anime, including Saint Seiya. Okay, I already read that one, but yes, I agree with that. Ross Wolf donated $2 through super chat. Says, ever seen Moon Station Delos? Yeah, that's considered the first anime OVA. It's interesting. It kind of ends on a little bit of a cliffhanger, I would say, but it's good. I think Mamoru Oshii, like the guy who did Pat Labor and most of like the early Urusei Yatsura, didn't he work on Moon Station Delos? Or, it's been a while since I've watched Delos, so like forgive me if I don't remember every little aspect of the anime, but it's good. They never explained what Delos was. Like, the name of the anime is Delos, and then like you end the anime and they're like, do you know what Delos is? And like, no. So, like, I kind of feel like maybe that anime got canceled or something at some point, because there's, like, or maybe there's, like, some context and, like, some supplemental material that I'm missing, but, that always bothered me. They don't really explain what Delos is, which is kind of weird. It's the name of the anime. You may as well explain what the anime is. Okay. Do. Sorry, I guess I should be reading the chat. So I was actually enjoying a video game. That's like the number one thing you're not supposed to do when you're streaming. Evan F says, have you played Sub Rebellion for PS2? It's been, a year, 2 years now since I first started asking. Get on it. I know you'll love it. It's by IREM. IREM games are too damn hard. I know, like, technically, like, the Metal Slug team is comprised of, like, ex-IREM staff, kind of like how Treasure was comprised of ex-Konami staff. But man, like R-Type and stuff like that is just so hard. Like everything IREM made is just like designed to absolutely break you. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure the games are fun, but man, are they difficult. Let's see, enjoying yourself on the internet? For shame, yeah. Come on, Steambot Chronicles is IREM's best. Steambot Chronicles is one of those games, like, how, like, in Cyberpunk, the trailers were like, you can do anything. You see that thing, you can do it. Steambot Chronicles is really one of those games where they let you do basically whatever you want. If you want to completely ignore the main story and become, like, a musician for no reason, you can do that. You wanna join, like, the evil villains, like, side to the story, you can do that. Like, that game lets you be like the biggest jerk I have ever seen in any video game, and for some reason it's like unemulatable. I mean, like, I guess technically you can emulate it, but it's one of those games that uses like a weird processing stream for like the graphics or something like that, and like it just does not emulate like the way that you would think. I tried. I ended up playing it on a real PS2 instead. Come on. Alright, there we go. Man, this game really wants me to break my fingers. Whew, okay. Give me a power-up. Give me a heavy machine gun. Alright, come on. There we go. Oh, laser. Yes. Whew, okay. See, sounds like Disco Elysium. Super Nintendo Nerd says, have you played any Armored Core games? I mean, they're good, but like you gotta be very involved with Armored Core. PCSX2 1.6 does a pretty good job, but you need to really fiddle with some settings. Like I said, it's just one of those games where I don't know why it doesn't emulate well. They did some kind of tricks to get it to run, and that's probably why it hasn't been re-released. Chubby Machine Gun. Alright. Ah. There we go. What's my favorite Japanese RPG? That's a tough one. Maybe Chrono Cross, Final Fantasy IX. If we're going by just in general, you know what? I changed my mind. Breath of Fire 3. That's probably my my favorite JRPG. It may not technically be the best Japanese RPG, but as far as my personal favorite, yeah, Breath of Fire 3, hands down. It's the game that I've played the most of. If I had to choose another one, maybe Chrono Cross. Well, I'm really like just doing really well in these boss fights. I couldn't even imagine trying to like one credit this game. Let's see, that's all that matters, Lost Odyssey. Okay. Can I actually shoot these out of the sky or not? I'm not sure how this boss battle actually works. Nope, I guess you just throw grenades until you win. Who do you want in Smash? I wanted Saki from Sin and Punishment on Nintendo 64. And if you look at my video that I just did on 25 things that might be anime, the end of that video is the ending theme to Sin and Punishment. So, you know, that tells you anything. The art with the Pat Labor characters doing a variety of things. Lucas Martinez donated $5. Lucas Martinez says, would you be interested in some Gunbuster VHS tapes? Also watching Legend of the Galactic Heroes and loving it. P.S. Check out Doc Broxy's channel. I already own both VHS releases of Gunbuster. There's the US Renovations release with those white VHS tapes, which is really, really nice. And then there's the manga home video release, which has those hilariously stretched wrong aspect ratio covers. But yeah, I own both of them. But thank you very much for considering donating. I don't need them. I have them. Okay, final mission start. Man, for some reason I thought Metal Slug 5 was a lot longer than this. Whoa! All right. But yeah, thank you very much for the donation. And anybody who's becoming part of the Patreon, I will send you a Discord invite right after I'm done with the stream. Whenever I'm done with it is when I will be able to update you with a invite. I've got to do it manually, so you'll get a message on Patreon. All right. I love the hang time that you get there. Like, that's amazing. All right. Ugh. I choose, like, the best video games to stream, don't I? Like, all these video games that require, like, intense paying attention. Let's see. Someone donated a lot of fan sub VHS tapes to the library that my wife works at. That's awesome. Let's see. Kisuke Kaiji donated $5. Says, where in the world did you find the third US Renovations VHS tape? I can't find it anywhere. I've had it since, like, the mid-90s, so, like, you're asking me if I remember where I picked up a VHS tape in, like, 1996? I don't know. It might have been, like, Suncoast Video or something like that. I know that's not the answer that you want. You're probably expecting to pick it up on eBay or something, but, like, I've just had it for a very, very long time. I don't even honestly remember where I got it. Okay, There we go. Rest in peace, Suncoast. I mean, Suncoast was fun, but man, were they, like, overpriced. It was like, I'm not even joking you, like $37 bare minimum for like 2 episodes of Evangelion on VHS. It, like, say what you will about older anime being better or worse, but I do appreciate how much cheaper it is to get anime now. Like, God, I remember I didn't watch Trigun to completion for, like, years. Because, like, you would buy, like, the first 8 episodes, it would cost you, like, $80, right, with tax? And then, like, you'd be like, well, I really don't want to spend, like, another $100 or whatever to get the next, like, 15 episodes. So I didn't watch that until, like, streaming services started being a thing. Okay, Let's see, don't remind me of those days, Kenny. Yeah, VHS tapes were super expensive. Like, you wonder why things like the English dub of Dream Dimension Hunter Fandora are lost media. And it's because, like, they were asking through the mail, like, over $100 for one 40-minute VHS tape. And you're wondering, like, well, why is that lost media? It's like, well, probably because nobody bothered to actually buy the damn thing. Let's see. Have you seen Gun X Sword? I have not. Excellent question, by the way. Slayer's next box set cost me $130 in 2002, and that was cheap for 26 episodes. I'm not joking you. I distinctly remember seeing the Trigun DVD box set, probably around 2002 or so, for $300 at Suncoast Video. Like, they didn't even give you a discount. They were $40 DVDs, and then they're like, we'll give you a box, and it'll be the exact same price. You could probably get the whole Trigun DVD box set with, like, that really nice cardboard outer casing to it, probably for, like, $15 now. Like anime prices were absurd! All the way up until, I want to say, maybe 2006 or so. Like, it started letting up maybe around 2002 early, at the earliest. But I distinctly remember, like, maybe around 2006, 2007 being like, hey, you know what? Anime is a lot cheaper all of a sudden. Like to be fair, I was buying a lot of stuff on VHS at that time because, like, people were getting rid of it to get DVD players. But, like, just in general, it was just, like, much, much more accessible. So now I would say is a better time than ever to get into retro anime because, like, it's available. A lot of it you can just probably watch on streaming services for free. So, yeah, it's a good time to be an anime fan. Got all the time in the world. Watch as much anime as you want. All right. Ugh. Okay, get this guy. Ugh. God, I love the shotgun in this game. Makes you feel so powerful. Let's see. I'm watching stuff. Donated $2 says PSA as of 2019. Lotus is now affordable. Are you talking about Record of Lotus War or Lotus? Because, like, is there a different anime? Am I thinking of the wrong series? You gotta understand, like, my references are probably, like, so foreign to most of the people on YouTube that, like, when you say Lotus, I think of Record of Lotus War and, like, the sequel series that they did for Record of Lotus War. So, like, if it's a completely different series just called Lotus, then I'm not sure what you're talking about. Speaking of which, if you're into, like, Dungeons and Dragons style series, maybe check out Record of Lotus War. Like, I would assume everybody already knows about Record of Lotus War, like, because, like, that was one of those series, like, everybody had the first VHS tape of it, and, like, nobody had the rest. Because, like, you wonder why, like, if you ever go to, like, a Salvation Army or a, like, a Goodwill, and you'd be like, what anime do they have on VHS? Like, 9 times out of 10, there'll be the very first episode of, the very first VHS tape of Record of Lotus War. Just because, like, everybody would buy the first tape, they'd get a couple of episodes, and then it would be like, you want to watch the rest of it? $40. Pay up. Alright, how do I do this? I wonder, can I reach them? No, I can't. Ah, man, this is a tough boss. Were you aware of Record of Lotus War Metroidvania that's on Steam? Player controls Deedlit. Yeah, I've seen that. I haven't played it, but that was something I was interested in for a long time. Greg the Grim Reaper says it's still over $1,000 to get the Monogatari series. That is a shame. Wow. I mean, like, and I thought, like, Laserdiscs were expensive. That's ridiculous. Yeah, because there's like a proper Blu-ray of Record of Lotus War. So, like, if you wanted to watch that in high definition, they did like a rescan from, like, the original film negatives. That show looks amazing on Blu-ray. Like, I never even imagined it could look that good. Bobobo is godly. Yes, it is. Don't worry, I'll play Bobobo again once I end up dying 100 more times, just because I can't figure out how I'm supposed to do this boss battle. But yeah, I'll play the Bobobo rhythm game again a little bit later. All right, Bobobo, Bobobo. Oh god, Bobobo makes me think of something else. Come on. Oh, I shouldn't have been there. We'll have to check it out. Say what? Bobobo. Yeah, like even the main theme to that anime was fantastic. I wonder how many quarters it would be if I was playing this normally. I probably would have lost like $10 already. Like, goddamn, that's a lot of credits. Metal Slug is my favorite arcade game. I'm friends with the music composer. Well, that's pretty cool. Didn't he do music for Dolphin Blue on the Atomus Wave? Play Dolphin Blue. If you want more Metal Slug, there's a Dreamcast conversion of the arcade game Dolphin Blue, which is honestly basically just Metal Slug with dolphins. If you haven't played Dolphin Blue, check that out. It's pretty cool. But yeah, you're friends with the composer of a video game series like Metal Slug. That's fantastic. Okay, there we go. See, that's a pro move, what you call there. Okay, yeah. Oh, wow. I didn't know those could actually hit you. I thought that was like part of the background. Ah, come on. Ah, almost. I dodged 2 of the attacks. That's something, at least. Okay. Move out of the way. Oh, it doesn't look like you can blow those up, either. That's a shame. Okay. Oh, I tried dodging. I tried sliding. It didn't work. Did not work. All right. Doing a little better. Okay, I think what I need to do... Yeah, there we go. I just need to be far away enough where none of that can hit me. There we go. Got it. Second Bobobo theme, Baka Survivor, was better. Oh, Baka Survivor is such a good song. Oh, man. Baka Survivor. Do 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 Baka Survivor, baby. Man, that is such a good song. I don't know how TAS players survive the final boss. Yeah, I don't know either. Let's see. Go to a corner so the scythe can't get you far. I feel like we need a live-action Chargeman Ken series. They already kind of have. They have the stage play. I mean, there is a live-action Chargeman Ken thing. It's not a series, but you know, there is live-action Chargeman Ken. Because Japan had to bring that madness into the world. Yeah, whatever. Let's see. Are you saving Japanese businessmen instead of prisoners of war in this Metal Slug? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, all the streams are archived. They just get unlisted. So, you know, if you want to see the stream again, just send me an email, send me a message on Patreon, do something. Just send me a message. I don't care how it gets to me, I will send you a link. My dad used to call me Jelly Jiggler after the character from Bobobo. Oh man, that's a hell of a compliment. First time seeing Kenny finish a game. All right, let me see here. Video capture device. All right, I'm gonna switch back to Bobobo. Okay, and we are back. So let me just turn this back on. And there we go. Let's see, it looks like it looks bad on the website. What do I use to capture? I use a USB HD 3 cap. Okay, where's the chat? Hold on a second here. There we go. That's a little bit better, right? There we go. Now it's not getting cut off. Yeah, that Hudson logo really gives me a lot of nostalgia. It's a shame they disappeared. They really just couldn't make that leap over to high definition, and they disappeared. It's on top of Lane, hell yeah. Let's see, is Hudson still around? No, they went out of business somewhere around 2009, and then Konami bought them. So now Konami owns all of their video games. Still waiting for a new Bloody Roar. Yeah, that's never gonna happen. If Bomberman couldn't get into Super Smash Bros. As like a playable character, then there's no way they're gonna bring back Bloody Roar. Ever played the other PS2 Bobobo? I have not. It's an iToy game. I looked into it, but I don't have a PS2 iToy, and I'm not about to do that. Maybe you should ask some VTuber to do the iToy PlayStation 2 Bobobo game. Let's see, Sad Reality. Yep. Bloody Roar Pachinko, yeah. I want a new Breath of Fire. Oh god, I would love to. They did do like a Breath of Fire 6, but it was a cell phone game. It was absolutely horrible. It never even came out anywhere else, so that series is basically dead. We don't talk about Breath of Fire 6. Yeah, for good reason. It's a cell phone game. Am I US based? Yeah, I'm from America. There's basically like no way to get into Japan now because of this whole virus thing. Even getting VHS tapes has been a lot harder because, like, if it's not something small, I guess like a tape, you know, it's not something that they're gonna want to ship now outside of Japan. So, kind of a pain, but you know, what can you do? You gotta adapt. You gotta adapt. Luckily, I already have a bunch of VHS tapes that I still want to talk about. So, hopefully this whole thing blows over within a year or so. Because I've still got enough, like, lost media for a while. Yeah, I'm glad that you guys like that thumbnail that I have for the video. That took me like a couple seconds to edit together, and if I ever do a Bobobo video, that'll probably be very close to what the thumbnail would be. Alright, now I'm doing good. Alright. See, that's what I like about rhythm games. Like, I like Rhythm Heaven, I like Guitaru Man, I like Guitar Hero to a certain extent. Oendon is another good one. You know, just like any video game that makes you feel good is like generally, I would say, a pretty good video game in my opinion. The music in like Katamari Damacy also does like the same thing for me. Like, you just play it and it makes you feel good. You know what I mean? Like, you know a good video game when you see it. You know? I'm surprised this video game is so cheap. This is like $10 on eBay. I mean, like, obviously you gotta mod your PlayStation 2 just to play it, so that's probably why nobody... You know, I just don't think people are into Bobobo for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe not enough people have seen Fist of the North Star these days to get, like, all the little references. You know, but there's, like, a lot of Dragon Ball Z references in it, too, so... You know... There we go. Let's see, does that blue sign say poop mocha? Yes, it does. Ah, didn't do it. Nose hairstyle, probably, yeah. Alright. We need more Fist of the North Star references in anime. Well, you know, there was that that new Road Warrior, and I was hoping after the new Road Warrior movie came out that I guess was it Fury Road, you know, came out. I was hoping after that came out that there would be like more anime references, but for some reason that just never happened. You know, sometimes popular media just doesn't make it into anime. Casper Christian says, could you play the Hylix games? Probably not. I mean, I'm playing through a PS2, and they didn't make Hylix for the PS2. So, I mean, like, I could try, but I like playing, you know, games that are on systems that I own. And, you know, you don't want like a bunch of like Discord sound effects going off during your stream or something like that. So, you know, I got a feeling like something really annoying could happen if I try and get a game to run. Like, at least I know this isn't gonna crash. You know what I mean? Alright. Dynasty Warrior Gundam? Yeah, I guess I could try that. There's a lot of Ultraman games on PS2 I wouldn't mind giving a shot. Alright, come on. No Mad Max 5 because the director is suing Warner Brothers for not paying him? Yeah, I would be upset about that too. Like, if you make a movie, you should probably be paid for it. Why, did he make the film and they just, like, never gave him any money? What's the deal with that? It's the first time I heard of that. Alright. Gunbuster PS2. I tried playing that. It's extremely dialogue heavy. My PlayStation crashed during Final Fantasy VII cutscenes. I feel like that happened to a lot of people. Is that like a glitch or something? Because that's not the first time that I've heard that. Okay, I think we got a donation. Let me go ahead and see what it was. Let's see. Casper Christensen donated $2. Could I play the Hylix game? Already answered that. Let me see what the other donation was. Give me a second here. Wings of Shu says, sadly, the new theme of popular anime is cute and a few other things, but not macho manly strength saving the day the last decade, if not longer. Well, here's the thing. It's not that, like, there's more cute anime girls. It's just that there's less manly anime. There's always been, like, cute anime since even, like, the 1960s. I mean, you know, you had, like, Sally the Witch. in 1960. It's not like it's never been around. However, it's just there's been a huge drop in manly anime to counteract it, so it makes it seem like there's more cute girls doing cute things in anime, when really all it is there's just less manly stuff going on. Okay. Let's see, what was that one weird PS2 game from Japan in which you play as an American firefighter? I don't remember, but that's... I know what you're talking about, I just can't think of it off the top of my head. Android 16 has a multi-tier command grab, that's sick. Bro, you should talk about Crow's OVA, it's too good. I'll talk about more delinquent stuff eventually, okay? Don't worry, I hear your manly requests. Burning Rangers? No, there's a PS2 firefighter game that he's thinking of. That's probably it. Firefighter FD18. Ever play Super Dragon Ball Z? I have not. Rafa Sandoval says, did you guys talk about the final Eva movie getting delayed again? Like, I don't pay attention to any of that stuff. I mean, you know, with the whole virus thing, there's just so many things getting delayed that it's just inevitable. Burning Rangers is a Sega Saturn game. Yes, it is, and it's super, super expensive. Burning Rangers is a Saturn game, yep. By the way, Beats by Dr. Fran, I love that you have a Frankenfran avatar. Neon Genesis Evangelion review, when? Like, if you type in Evangelion review into YouTube, dude, you're gonna get like 1,000 results. Why would I want to do a review on something 1,000 other people have already beaten into the ground? Like, that's the same reason, like, there were people in the comments section of the last video where I was talking about things that might be anime, and they're like, why didn't you talk about Avatar The Last Airbender? Why didn't you talk about the Boondocks? Why didn't you talk about Teen Titans? It's like, because people have already talked about those things. I like talking about interesting things that, like, haven't been said a million times, you know? Everybody in that comment section was like, boy, I can't believe you didn't talk about Cory in the house. I would never make that obvious, like, joke. It's been played into the ground. It's boring. One of my favorite manga, sadly not many people have read it. Have you read the sequel manga? Because they brought it back from being canceled. You know, I've been meaning to look into that. Avatar isn't an anime? Nani? Let's see, Cory in the House is overrated. It sure is. Bobobo. Oh, I got hit twice. I gotta pay more attention. There we go. Bobobo. Let's see, Beauty's reactions were kind of annoying, to be honest. Well, she's like the comedy relief straight woman character, so, you know, like, there's supposed to be always, like, one normal person in every single anime that, like, has to react to all the crazy things that are going on. And Beauty was just that character. Like, there has to be a person who doesn't, like, attack with, like, farts in your anime in order for there to be any sort of normality to it, you know what I mean? The comic foil, yes, exactly. Alright. Bobobo, Bobobo. Let's see, basic construction of comedy. Yeah, absolutely. There's a couple of rules of comedy. Rule number 1, if you have to explain the joke, then there is no joke. And rule number 2 is, you know, it's gotta be funny. You need a straight man for the funny man to rebound off of. Yes, ever play the GameCube game of Bobobo? I have not. I think it's like a Super Smash Brothers, like, inspired game, isn't it? It's like an arena fighter. There's also there's another Bobobo game, but I think it's like an iToy game, and I don't have the PlayStation iToy, so I'm not about to buy that just for this game. But honestly, I wouldn't mind getting some of those GunCon games. And I don't think there's a Bobobo GunCon game, but there are a couple that I'd like to play. I think there's like Dino Crisis 3, which is I guess like Gun Survivor 3. There's also like what was it, Vampire Knights or like Vampire Stalker or something like that. There's a couple of those games I wouldn't mind playing. I don't think there's a lot of people that play like light gun games on YouTube streams, so that might be fun one of these days. Ninja Assault, yeah, that's the one that I was thinking of. Ah, come on. There we go. You can tell I'm starting to get just like a little bit worse because I'm starting to get more tired. I really should do these like earlier in the day so there's people awake to actually watch these things. Tell me in the chat, when do you guys actually want me to do these streams? I might have time on Friday, like at a non-insane time. Just throw out a bunch of times and I'll see like after the stream is done, I'll just go back in the chat and I'll see what you guys said. But yeah, you know, people were telling me to do more videos. I put up that poll on the community tab, and I was like, well, how often do you expect people to put up videos on YouTube, like generally? And it seems like there was two main answers. You guys want me to either do one video a week, or just make sure that the one video that I put out a month is like very, very well done. Because the two answers that won were, I expect a video once a week, or I expect the video when it's done. So, you know, I'll try and do videos faster. I've got more free time now, so when I wake up, the later, do the nose hair dance. No, I like the insane 9 to 10 p.m. time. All right. Bobobo. Bobobo. All right. I wonder if they'd released this in place on like in America. Would people have bought this? I would have bought the hell out of this if this came out in America. Let's see. This makes me want to watch Bobobo. Well, you should, because Bobobo is awesome. Kenny, you should play Time Crisis 2. Yeah, I probably should, but I kind of want to play Gun Survivor 3, which is, I guess, technically part of the Dino Crisis series. Just because that game looked interesting. You know, it's like a GunCon light gun game with like dinosaurs in it, and I kind of feel like that would be really interesting to stream. Bobobo is always overshadowed by Naruto in America. Well, people with good taste watch Bobobo. I got nothing against Naruto, but Bobobo is clearly the standout series. Let's see, making me watch Bobobo again. Dino Stalker, yes, that's the name of the game. I also watched Bobobo a couple of years ago. Have I found any anime VHS tapes in the wild? Not any good ones. A lot of the VHS tapes that I talk about, like I've already got them. And I don't know if it's just because everybody's into anime more, but like VHS tape anime prices have been going crazy up in price. So, like, thankfully I have most of the stuff I want to already talk about, otherwise I wouldn't even be able to get them. Like, Tube TV prices also went up like crazy. If you guys have looked up like what a Trinitron goes for these days, it's like people are paying like $300 for a Trinitron. I remember when people were throwing those away on the sidewalks, and people would come by to like mine the $2 worth of copper that was stuck inside them. And now people are paying like $300 to $500 just as not even like an RGB modded Trinitron, like a regular Sony television. So I don't know, everything's all messed up due to the whole virus situation. So, you know, if you want to get into VHS tapes, now would probably be the time to do it before it just becomes insane. Okay. Up, down. Left, left. Up, down. That. Left, left. Alright. Epic eBay prices are way overblown. I would say so. I mean, like who's paying like $150 for every episode of Evangelion on VHS? Or who's paying like $100 for a VHS tape of Serial Experiments Lane? I mean, like, don't get me wrong, those Lane fans are very dedicated. I'm one of them, but I wouldn't pay $100 just to watch Lane on VHS. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's like clearly the most aesthetic. That's like clearly the most aesthetic way to watch that show, but you know, it's just too much. At that point, you may as well get like a PS3 and like hook up a VCR to it and make your own damn Lane VHS tapes that way. Nintendo is not available in my country. I cannot play Mario or Pokemon. I have to emulate it. Well, you know, do what you gotta do, I guess.
ありがとう。
薬は本物のようだな。
おっと、気をつけろよ。
You buy VHS tapes for investing. That's a horrible idea. VHS tapes, at least the ones I have from the 80s, are starting to go really bad now. So like I've got a bunch of stuff that I ordered from Japan, and like you pop it into your VCR, and it's got tracking issues. The audio is all garbled. And like even after that, if you somehow get it onto your computer, you gotta do like color correction, because like these tapes are just like so faded from just like being old that they're like almost unplayable unless you digitize them. So like why? I don't understand. Maybe there's some people buying up VHS tapes to resell them, but they're gonna lose all their money because you're not gonna even be able to play the VHS tapes unless there's people buying VHS as collector's items. I could see that angle to it. You know, there are people who buy like Pokemon cards just to have them and not even play them. But like if you're expecting to be able to play your VHS tapes in like 20 years from now, that's probably not going to be a thing. You know, your VCR probably won't even last that long. Let's see, what was that cutscene? Do you like Pathologic? Don't know what that is. Your question was badly formulated. Reading the comments on the poll. Yeah, I'm not good at making polls. What can I tell you? You ever seen Legend of the Galactic Heroes? Yes, I have. See, the key to winning a space battle, I don't know if you guys know this, is you just form a semicircle around your enemy, and then you just fire blue lasers at him. And it's unescapable. You know, it's like the best outer space battle strategy that exists. Come on, man. You just make a semicircle, and you fire blue lasers. That's how you win every fight in the Legend of the Galactic Heroes world. I love how they like just ignore that there's like an X and a Y axis in outer space. They're just like, you know, we'll follow naval strategy in Legend of the Galactic Heroes, even though you can just go upwards or downwards or left or right. You know, Legend of the Galactic Heroes is a great like space drama, but you have to kind of suspend your disbelief. It's not exactly like a military epic that like stands up to perfect scrutiny. Three-dimensional space rarely applies in that show. Yeah, it really does. I think like in the books or even the anime, they kind of wave it away at some point, due to like something like magnetism or something. They're like, well, you can't go that direction. There's magnetism. So, let's see. Naval space battles are way classier. Like they'll go into an asteroid field and act like it's hard to move around. Yeah, exactly. Don't get me wrong. Legend of the Galactic Heroes is fantastic. But it's like a 9 out of 10, maybe a 9.5 out of 10. It's so close to being perfect. It's very, very close. Bro, what the hell? Relativistic, though, there is no real up or down in space. Even Yamato was like that. Yeah. Magnets, how do they work in outer space? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. I, of course, have the Criterion Collection for RoboCop. Bobobo. Bobobo. Okay, I am probably gonna end this stream in like 10 minutes or so just to let you guys know. If there's like any questions that you want to put in the chat, let me know. I'm probably going to have another video out. I want to say, give me 2 weeks. I know I can't do a video every week, but I figure you give me 2 weeks, I'll probably have another video out. It's going to be a retrospective on another Delinquent Schoolgirl show, I'm hoping. If not, I have a backup video that I can do based on an anime. But really, I want to get more of those Japanese J-drama videos out. Because, like, I haven't done one in a while, and I kind of feel like the people who watch those Sukeban Deka videos and the video on Shoujo Commando Izumi, which is, like, subtitled, by the way. Did you guys know that? There's English subtitles for Shoujo Commando Izumi since I did that video. Like, how fantastic is that? I feel like you know, there's a lot of people waiting on me to do more of those schoolgirl videos. So, man, and boy, do I have an example of a show that really needs some more exposure. It's weird. It was like a genre that really only existed for a little while. But boy, oh boy, do those shows hit hard when you find them. So yeah, that's probably what the next video is going to be. I've already got, like, I want to say half a script written up, and most of my research, I would say, is pretty much done. But yeah, if you're looking forward to more Sukeban delinquent schoolgirls with, you know, long skirts and bad attitudes, I got a really nice retrospective that I'm working on, so that's definitely going to be a thing sometime in the near future. And if you're still, you know, subscribed for the anime, there's going to be more anime content coming out in the future. And you never know, I could do that video on anime that don't even exist. I mean, that was clearly a joke. So don't, like, hold me to doing a video on anime that don't exist. But, like, I suppose technically you could do a video on anime that don't exist. There's a lot of anime that did exist at one point, but they were destroyed. So, like, technically that's a thing that exists, you know, did exist, now no longer does. Technically that's what lost media should be. You know, if something is lost, that means it doesn't exist anymore. The term people should be using is, like, I don't know, maybe lost-ish media or something like that. Because, like, when I think of lost media, I mean, like, I think it's gone forever, right? Like, that should be the literal definition. But, yeah, maybe at some point. I've thrown around the idea for a while. It would be really tough to do a video on anime that literally don't exist. But, you know, I like challenges. You never know. If I get bored, I might do something like that just for fun. All right. Let's see. Haha, this is awesome. Reborn Media. Extinct anime. Yes. That would be... Like, really, when I think of lost media, I'm thinking of extinct anime, right? And, really, it should be extinct anime and lost anime. Because, like, if something is lost, that means it's waiting to be found. You know what I mean? But extinct anime is, like, anime that just straight up no longer exists. Like, it's gone forever, I would say. So, I don't know, man. Do you guys want me to do an anime, video on anime that quite literally do not exist? I don't even know what that video would be about. I would have to get even more experimental than that video on things that might be anime. But, you know, I enjoy a challenge, you know. See what happens. Yep. You could totally try to watch, let's see, something else. I can't read the chat. Give me a second. Let me beat Jelly Jiggler, and we'll get back to reading your chats and your donations in a second. All right. Sounds like a stretch. Yeah, it would be difficult to do. I mean, like, there are legitimately anime that existed at one point, but now no longer do. You know, stuff that was destroyed, or... like, the only copies were lost in earthquakes, or like Japan just has a lot of natural disasters. You got earthquakes, you got tsunamis. You know, you had that entire Fukushima disaster probably destroyed a lot of stuff in northern Japan. I don't know where they keep all of their film masters now these days. I know in America, like, they keep them in salt flats, right? You have all this film stock that's just basically in caves in the desert, and that's how, like MGM and Warner Brothers and stuff stored all of their media. Because, like, in a salt cave, you've got no humidity. But I don't think Japan has any locations like that, right? They don't have salt caves in Japan. So I would think they probably just keep all their stuff in buildings, right? So, like, you've got like Godzilla attacks happening on a daily basis, and just, you know, anime gets destroyed, it gets lost. It happens. So, I don't know, that could be a video talking about stuff that just doesn't exist anymore. Let's see, that Phantom Blood movie, that probably still exists. It just hasn't, they don't have any reason to re-release it. Have you thought about doing a video on some of the obscure games that you play on stream? Would be interesting. Maybe. I mean, this is just for fun. I'm not a video game reviewer. Maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll do a video game review, and I'll do like a deep dive on some obscure game or something. I'll do some hyper over like researched 1 hour long review on something, but not anytime soon. You know, I've got anime that I gotta focus on, but you know, maybe one day. Okay, so let me go ahead and read the donations. because this is gonna be over in, I want to say, 5 minutes. So I'm gonna read the chat for 5 or 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna close this out. It is getting late on my end. Let's see. Ross Wolf says, right now buying a good VCR is an investment. I just bought one that's already paying for itself as I transfer people's home videos to digital. Well, you know, I guess that's a thing. It's a shame. It's a shame that they don't make brand new VCRs. Otherwise, you know, it wouldn't even be an issue. So thank you very much for the $5 donation, Ross Wolf. Ellen Yaya donated $10 through Super Chat. Bobobo always reminded me to trim my nose hairs. Hey, Kenny, hope you're doing your best. What's some of your favorite Toonami anime from the early 2000s? I loved A La Star and Big O Batman. I kind of liked, let's see, what's a hot take? Hamtaro. There we go. Hamtaro was a decent anime. Can I say that? Hamtaro was okay. I liked Big O. What was that? What else was on? I mean, like, I stopped watching Toonami when it started switching over to that Miguzi stuff. Like, eventually, at some point, Toonami was like nothing but Dragon Ball Z and Naruto episodes. But God, what else did they air on Toonami? Like, I guess I watched Dot Hack Sign early in the morning when they aired it. But you know, most people probably don't remember like Toonami for Dot Hack Sign. They aired that at like 6 a.m. in the morning because it was so slow. Bobobo reminds me to trim my nose hairs. Yes. Okay, what else we got for the messages? Let me see. Okay, so I'm caught up on the super chat messages, I think. Okay, so let me go to the audience. Oh God, this is always the worst. Talk to the audience. Let's see. Weed Eater says you should totally try to watch Shiawase Nani. It's a secret cult anime made by KyoAni 91. Only one episode of 8 has surfaced. Well, that's something I gotta look into. That sounds like lost media to me. Zoids, yeah, the Liger Zero. God, Zoids is something that most people don't talk about these days. Let's see. Punch Pick Philosophy says, how about a video about anime from your childhood that you forgot about to save certain scenes? Maybe. Let's see, what else we got? Tenchi Muyo, yeah, that's a classic. I remember Dot Hack. Weed Eater says you should totally try to watch that or answer that. Zoids, do you watch new anime? Occasionally. I mean, I've been keeping up with One Piece because it's directed by the guy that did like the Dragon Ball Z Broly movie now, so it's very well animated. Like that newest episode of One Piece that they put out, that's like movie quality. That's what I wanted that series to be from the beginning. Outside of that, like generally not really. You know, I watched that fishing anime. What was it, Tabo something or other? That was pretty good. Did I watch Code Lyoko with their 5 heads? Not 4 heads, 5 heads. No. I'm not a big Code Lyoko fan. Thank you, Kenny. Yuna turns 30 next year. Well, maybe I should do a retrospective on Yuna. Let's see. What else we got here? Do you read any manga? Not too much. I mean, Frank and Fran, Blackjack, Monster, I guess, was pretty good. I mean, honestly, I just don't read that much manga. Most of the stuff that I read is just hard to get. Do you watch Space Dandy? Yeah, Space Dandy was fantastic. Was anime a mistake? I heard somewhere that it was. Yeah, I've heard rumors to such an effect. Cemetery Hill says Zoids is great. Any favorite post-2010 anime? Not any in particular. Hey, Kenny just got here. Love Bobobo. Well, I'm ending the stream. So, Ashley Fritz, thank you very much for stopping by. You should check out Isekai Oji-san and never stop looking for lost media. Julian says, thoughts on Dragon Quest anime from 1990. It's good. You want to get the VHS version, because when they re-released it, they changed a bunch of scenes. Let's see, ranking Tezuka anime from bad to good. Oh God, don't get me started on that. Okay, well, I am going to close out the stream. Just to plug my Patreon, if you send me $1 just to prove that you're not some 12-year-old, you will get into the Discord server, and anybody who already donated to get into the Patreon, I will send you Discord servers in 5 minutes. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you had fun, and let me know if you ended up actually playing this game after the stream is done. Thanks for dropping by, and